Saroj was also क्या welcome. I would just you will have without to learn how secrets and other difficulties to inaugurate this international conference organized by postgraduate department of clinical psychology and applied civil human psychology subsector. Chief guest and keynote addressee of this international conference, Dr. Arjun Sandha, Professor Navin Adjani, and other dignitaries are here to inaugurate his international conference. I request the witness to help the guests and dignitaries to have their seats in this stage. Thank you. Mahatma Phule Shikshan Sanstha, Karmaveer Bhaurao College, postgraduate department for clinical psychology and psychology matrimony, psychology mental have organized two-day international conference on GST reforms and social cultural impact, socio-economic inequalities, and psychological inventories. Understanding the passage like GST and their impact in the goods on 17th and 18th January 2026. This is inaugural program in Karmaveer. The chief guests of this inaugural function, Professor Dr. Arjun Sandha, Professor Dr. Rupian Yogi, Chairperson of the Inaugural Section, Chairman of Mahatma Phule Shikshan Sanstha, Honorable Aditya Kaka. We have auspicious presence of Honorable Sangli Patil, Vice Chair of Mahatma Phule Shikshan Sanstha, Mrs. Sangeeta Prashant Patil, Member Management Council, Mahatma Phule Shikshan Sanstha, and Chairman, College Development Committee, Karmaveer Bhaurao College, and Professor Patil College, Honorable Prashant Patil, and Principal of the College of Shikshan and Karmaveer Nursing on this case. I will do the second order guest and visitors from the rise, as I request Principal of Education Minister to welcome the guest and introduce in our mission. Respected guest of the inaugural function of the International Conference on GST reforms and social and cultural impact, Honorable Professor Angel Masanda from Philippines, Honorable Professor Yufi Adriani from Indonesia, Chairperson of today's function and President of Mahatma Phule Shikshan Sanstha, Honorable Advocate N.R. Patil Kaka, Vice President Honorable Sunil Patil Sir, Honorable Sangeeta Patil, Chairperson of the College Development Committee, Honorable Shank Patil, Member of the Managing Council of Mahatma Phule Shikshan Sanstha, Honorable Rajesh Maske Sir, Head of the Psychology Department of Pune University, all Honorable Managing Council members, Principal Dr. Archana Korar, distinguished international and national guests, delegates, and esteemed participants. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of the organizing committee to this prestigious international conference. First of all, I would like to express my deep sense of gratitude to Saroj Patil, my General Secretary of our parent institute, Mahatma Phule Shikshan Sanstha, President Advocate N.R. Patil Kaka, Vice President Honorable Sunil Patil Sir, CDC Chairperson Honorable Sangeeta Patil, and to all the managing council members for their constant support in organizing this international conference on the theme related to GST. I also extend my heartfelt gratitude to the officials of ICSSR and Shivaji University Kolhapur for sponsoring this conference. I sincerely appreciate the commendable efforts of the Department of Psychology in organizing this conference and well supported by the entire college staff. I'm also deeply thankful to our international speakers, Professor Masanda, Professor Asmiani, Dr. Jadek Dist, and Dr. Nicola Harrison from New Zealand for graciously accepting our invitation and joining us both offline and online. A college was established in 1961 under the visionary leadership of the great philosopher, thinker, and social reformer, Honorable Dr. N.D. Patil and his colleagues, with the noble motto of education to the masses. Beginning with fewer than 100 students, today the institution has grown to 4,000 plus, offering education from higher secondary to undergraduate, postgraduate, and research levels, with over 30 plus UG and PG programs and more than 20 plus professional skill-based courses. We have established MOUs with nationally and internationally reputed institutions, including the University of Cambridge, UNU Clark University Philippines, ISRO, IIT Madras, and MKCL, which reflects our commitment to global academic excellence. The achievements of our college in academics, sports, culture, NCC, NSS, and social activities are remarkable. The institution has always been a vibrant center of progressive movements working for the upliftment of the common people. We take immense pride in our Department of Psychology, which stands as one of the best practice of our institution. More than 100 students have secured positions in the university by this student. Recently, Ms. Arya Desai, a student, received the Chancellor's Gold Medal for securing the first rank at Shivaji University. Under the dynamic leadership of Professor Jimmy Kamle, the department continues to excel. The valuable contributions of former heads of the department, Professor C.K. Chautre and Professor M.T. Jadhav, are also noteworthy. The theme of this conference may appear simple, but its impact on our lives is far-reaching. GST has become an integral part of our socio-economic framework, influencing every aspect of society. I firmly believe that this conference will be immensely beneficial to students, faculty members, researchers, and society at large. It is heartening to witness the participation of eminent personalities from arts, commerce, and science, deliberating on crucial sub-themes such as socio-economic inequalities and psychological well-being. Their valuable insights and diverse perspectives will undoubtedly enrich the academic experience of all participants. Friends, we have wholeheartedly made every possible effort to make this conference a grand success in terms of speakers, presentations, and hospitality. However, if there are any shortcomings, I sincerely request your kind understanding and offer my apologies in advance. I request you all to enjoy the conference and make it fruitful in every walks of life. Thank you, one and all. Now this is time to felicitate our chief guest of the conference. I request Chairperson of the function, Dr. Patil Kaka, to felicitate Professor Dr. Arjun Masandai, forensic psychologist, Philippines, on this auspicious organization of the international conference. I would like to declare that the chief guests will be formally introduced in keynote session as they are research persons for keynote session. The Indian Constitution, memento, and bouquet is offered to the guests. Afterwards, I will take the duty and
also to share this. Then I request Sangeeta Taipati Madam to be felicitate Professor Lakshmi Nandiani to is with us to enlighten the conference and the key operations in key events. The world papers are Sangeeta Tai will tell you this. I request to supervise activities that travel to the author travel to Honorable Patil Kaka, chairperson of the National Function. Hello, Honorable. I was Dr. Urun-Islampur to welcome Honorable Sunil Kaka, sir, was chairman of Marketing Relations Center. Honorable Sunil Kaka, sir, is honored that Dr. Urun-Islampur, the faculty of Department of Psychology, about women show book book. I request here to the faculty Dr. Shikshan to welcome Sangeeta Taipati German College of Team, Tal-Walwa College, and the College, this is Sangeeta Prashant Patil. I will go representation of outside to offer to welcome book and bouquet to Prashant Patil, principal of Bhaurao and book and bouquet is offered. So welcome. Dr. Rajendra Naske, head Department of Psychology, University of Circular Political University is here. And chairperson of keynote session. I request Sangeeta Taipati to welcome Dr. on behalf of this conference. Thank you, right? Now I request Professor Dr. Ajay Masanda to announce the formal inauguration of the conference. Just formal announcement of the inauguration of the conference.
Good morning to everyone. So it is definitely my honor and privilege to formally announce to you that the inaugural address has now officially opened.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time to publish the surrender of the conference. I request all the guests to publish the surrender of research papers of scholars, research students, faculty members, and participants who have sent more than 100 research papers from this international conference. This surrender is being published here by the auspicious hands of all the dignitaries of the dais. Through the international conference and BSc, encouraging social and cultural impact social inequalities, and psychological well-being, and the impact on the groups, the choice of the books here.
Now, please, Honorable Patil to the presidential review of the audience. Honorable Patil.
Wanted to respected distinguished on this dais, Professor Arjun Vasanta Kajimai and Professor Dr. U.P. Abdiani, Indonesia. Our member, our mentor and General Secretary of the institution, respected Saroj and the party. On this occasion, he is unable to attend his function due to her illness, body pain. Honorable Vice President with the police party tribe on our dynamic young colleague and chairman, chairperson of the college development committee and Dr. Law Power Sanstha, Mrs. Ankita Pradhan Patil, Director of the institution, Mr. Prashant Narayan Patil. We call him as a Dada, but in fact he is our he is guide and philosopher of our Sanstha. All the president of this conference and principal of our college, Professor Dr. Vinken Sinde, all the sessions, chairs, receptions from the India and abroad, respected faculty members, students and all the distinguished delegates present today for this conference and Maji Guru Maji Guru joined with the good Colombo and like Amshad Government to Sanstha. It gives me immense pleasure and pride to warmly welcome you all to this international conference. We gathered here today not merely for an academic event, but engaged in a margin meaningful dialogue that is we call Marathi Susawa that connects ideas, wisdom, and social responsibility. Friends and international conference is never organized or overnight. It requires institutional vision, strong support from the management, and the committed academic leadership. The conference has been taken taken shape because of the value-based tradition of the Mahatma Shikshan Sanstha. And I would like to place this on record with a deep appreciation. The successful organization of this conference is the result of the several contributions factors. One of the most significant among them is the contribution of Professor Dr. Milind Deshmukh. Over the past few years, he has undertaken academic visits to various countries. Through these international engagement, he has not only enriched his own academic experience, but also establishing a strong global presence for our college and Department of Psychology. These visits led to academic interaction with the reputed universities and scholars from the countries such as the Philippines and Indonesia. As a result of this interaction, the important memorandum of understanding MOU where signed these agreements are not merely formal but document document but strong foundations and collaborative research, joint international conference, faculty and student exchange program, and joint publication. The international conference we are witnessing today is a direct outcome of these visionary efforts. Friends, friends, the theme of this conference is highly relevant and closely connected to the society. Issues such as the social inequality, सामाजिक विषमता, economic reform, and the impact of the policies like GST on human and psychological well-being are not initiated or not limited to statistics alone. Beyond these issues lie the lives of ordinary people, their mental stress, process of adjustment, and concerns related to mental health. Discussing these di- dimensions from the psychology perspective is the need of the present time. The participation of eminent scholars, keynote speakers, and the research from India and abroad is a matter of great pride for our institution initiative and as the as the Saroj Patil, my best research paper award reflects the sincere effort to encourage and motivate young researchers, which is truly commendable. On this occasion, I sincerely congratulate the conference organizing committee, advisory committee, conveyor, co-conveyor, faculty members, non-teaching staff and students. It is because of their collective efforts that the inaugural session and the entire conference are being conducted smoothly and successfully. In conclusion, I would like to express my hope that the conference will not be limited 2 days of academic discussion, but will serve as a beginning of the long-term international research collaboration and enrich academic relationship. May ideas and research outcomes presented here contribute meaningfully to society. With these words, I once again extend to my best wishes to the conference warmly welcome all the delegates and conclude my presence address. Thank you. Jai Maharaj. And
Include during rural organizing different activities, academic and social. Just we have finished a lecture, and this conference is part of that show. The anniversary of Dr. N.U. Patil's passing date, as the academic just mentioned, his visionary and his visions, his works, his efforts that he gave here, he put here during his entire life in his Mahatma Shikshan Sanstha, the development of Karmaveer biology college. Now I request Dr. Phule to present vote of thanks of his inaugural mission And the keynote address will soon followed by the vote of thanks.
Respected Chief Guest, Professor Dr. Arjun Masenda, Professor Dr. Yufia Drani, respected Chairperson of today inaugural function, uh, is Honorable Advocate N.R. Patil Kaka, Honorable Sunil Patil Sahib, Vice President of our Sanstha, Honorable Chairman of this conference and Principal of Karmaveer Bhaurao Patil College, Urun-Islampur, Professor Dr. Nitin Shinde sir, distinguished plenary and keynote speakers, respected members of the management, academic leaders, researchers, collegians, students, and friends from India and abroad. A very good morning to all of you. It is my privilege and honor to propose the vote of thanks for this inaugural session of the International Conference 2026. I would like to be my expression, my special and personal thanks to my dear friend, Professor Arjun Masenda. Beyond his role as distinguished forensic psychologist and eminent international speaker, he is someone with who I am sharing a bond that goes beyond academic collaboration. In Marathi, we have a beautiful word like bhava. It reflects trust, warmth, emotional closeness, and relationship built on respect. Dr. Masala and I address each other as like a bhava. And that word truly captures the spirit of our occasion. His presence at this conference is not only academic honor for us, but also a personal joy. I sincerely thank him, my Bhava, for his constant support, intellectual support, and strengthening the international academic friendship rooted in human values. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to UP Attorney Madam from the State Islamic University, Jakarta, in Indonesia. Her participation in his conference brings in an invaluable international perspective and adds tremendous academic depth to our discussions. Her insightful contribution and willingness to share her expertise have greatly enriched the quality of this conference. We are deeply grateful for her support, guidance, and active engagement in this scholarly gathering. On the behalf of organizing committee, I extend to my heartfelt gratitude to our respective chairperson, Honorable Saroj Patil Mai. Although she is unable to present at this conference due to unavoidable technical reasons, her guidance and support and encouragement remaining the consistent source of strength for us. Her lifelong commitment to rational thoughts, social awareness, and human values continues to inspire not only academic communities but society at large. We are deeply grateful to her continued blessings, even even in her absence. I express to my respect and gratitude to Honorable Advocate N.R. Patil Kaka, President of Mahatma Phule Shikshan Sanstha, for his esteemed presence and consistent encouragement. His guidance was always strength academic activities in our institute and motivated to us undertake programs for national and international significance. I also thank to Honorable Sunil Patil Sir, Vice President of Mahatma Phule Shikshan Sanstha, for his presence and continued support to the educational and research activity of this institute. I would like to place on my record my sincerely gratitude to Honorable Prashant Patil Dada, Member of Management Council, Mahatma Phule Shikshan Sanstha, for his encouragement and support to this conference. I express I express my special and deep sense of gratitude to Honorable Sangeeta Prashant Patil, our Tai, Member of Management Council Member of Management Council Mahatma Phule Shikshan Sanstha, and Chairperson of College Development Committee, KPP College and ND Patil Law College, Urun-Islampur. Her consistent guidance, personal involvement, and unwavering support have been instrumental in organizing this international conference 2026. For conceptual planning to the final execution, her active participation, encouragement, and administrative support made it possible to conduct this conference smoothly and successfully. Her strong commitment to academic excellence, research promotion, and institutional development
has been a consistent source of inspiration for our organizing committee. I wish to place on my record special thanks to our conference chairman and principal, Professor Dr. Nitin Shinde sir, for his visionary leadership. His inaugural address today set the intellectual goals for this conference and reminded us the social responsibilities that the academic research carries. His encouragement and guidance have been consistent source of strength throughout the planning and exhibition of this conference 2026. I extend to my sincere appreciation to all distinguished plenary and keynote speakers from the India and abroad. Your willingness to share your experience, perspectives, and research insight has added immense academic value to this conference. We are grateful to you for being the part of scholarly gathering. A special words thanks to our students whose enthusiasm, discipline, and voluntary services have been truly commendable. Your involvement reflects that vibrant academic culture of our institute. I sincerely thanks to researchers and all participants who have traveled from various parts of countries and abroad to be the part of this conference. Your presence, participation, and the engagement it is truly meaning to the academic event. With this word, I once again thanks to you, all of you, your presence, cooperation, and support. I wish to conference great success and hope that the deliberating over the next 2 days will be intellectual, enriching, and socially meaningful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, one and all. After this inaugural function, now it is time for keynote address. Uh, I request Honorable Rajendra University sir to chair this keynote address. And the resource person of this session is Professor Dr. Argan Musanda. And the topic is the cause of mental peace, global perspective on anxiety economy. Professor Dr. Yuki Adrani. The topic is psychological impact of impacts, incentives on entrepreneurship. So I request all of you to share this, and I request all the dignitaries to have a seat before the stage. The chairperson of this, this section is Professor Dr. Raja Sister. Two of the two persons are here. Announcement of this section, I would like to request Dr. Bhaurao, Sound Service to introduce today's chairperson and resource persons.
Distinguished delegates, respected dignitaries, eminent scholars, ladies and gentlemen, and students. It is pure serendipity that I have been honored and privileged to welcome you all to the first session of this conference, which brings a day to savants, researchers, professionals, and students across the global frontiers to share knowledge, wisdom, ideas, and inspire meaningful collaboration. Let me introduce our first guest, who has been from the country which is home to 10 UNESCO World Heritage Sites and the first Asian country to qualify for the FIFA World Cup. Born and grown up in Jakarta, Indonesia, Dr. UP Adriani pursued her bachelor's and master's from University of Indonesia in the subject that offers multitude of insights into our minds and behaviors, that is psychology. She completed doctorate in positive psychology from Deakin University, Australia. The petrichor of her thoughts has mesmerized countless listeners across the universities in more than 3 continents. Her impeccable test in psychology has enlightened thousands of souls on the topics concerned with psychology, mindfulness, mental health, gender equality, and so on. She used her expertise to console the minds in agony during the pandemic. Her thoughts and meticulous research are mirrored in her books and articles. Her words are illumining hundreds of readers across the national boundaries. Her ethereal work has earned her accolades from various institutes of recognition from countries like Indonesia, Australia, Netherlands, and India. Her effervescent personality invited her to the membership of multiple organizations dedicated to the field of psychology. The most notable of them include American Psychological Association, Australian Psychological Association, and International Positive Psychology Association. At present, she is engaged with Sarif Hidayatullah State Islamic University, Jakarta, and Erasmus University, Rotterdam. Our second guest had shown his appearance here from the country of beautiful beaches and islands, a land of rich culture and tradition like that of India, and hosts to numerous barrack churches. Dr. Ajul Masanda, the first ever Filipino psychologist to earn a doctorate degree in forensic psychology, has made his journey through the avant-garde of psychology. Holding masters in social work and guidance and counseling, Professor Masanda's impeccable test in psychology culminated in his doctorate in forensic psychology from Far Eastern University, Philippines. I passed through alexithymia when I read his 85 pages long resume, decorated with Gawad Pandit's accolades. Prestigious academic recognitions conferred by the Philippines government includes recognized researcher level 3, faculty with 10 international collaborations, second top performing FSO coordinator, research advocacy award, most distinguished alumnus. Sir, I believe you have bagged almost all Gawad Pantis awards. With an illustrious career spanning several years, Professor Masanda has consistently demonstrated excellence, innovation, and a deep commitment to advancing knowledge and practice in the field of forensic psychology. The exhaustive list of his academic titles embraces full professor, affiliate professor, professorial lecturer, guest lecturer, and national review lecturer for psychometrician board examination. An associate and consultant psychologist, Professor Masanda is engaged with different institutes of glory in Philippines and the globe. He works on the positions of eminence such as honorary member, vice president, advisor, and member on different subject-related institutes and NGOs. His books and articles showcase his research interests in forensic psychology, positive psychology, mental health research, gender and development research, and sex and sexuality research. This recipient of national and international research grants is also engaged with television and other mass media, making it his platform to delve in the mind of his readers and audience. Now, let me enlighten you about the chairperson of this session. The chairperson of this session, Dr. Rajendra Maske, professor and head at Department of Psychology, Savitribai Phule University, Pune, is a very erudite scholar in the field of psychology. He pursued his bachelor's and master's from Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, and doctorate in gerontology from Savitribai Phule University, Pune. Dr. Maske has been an eminent resource person and delivered talks across national and international platforms. A Google Scholar of Repute, also offers consultancy and counseling services. He has been decorated with multiple awards from various national and international organizations. Both are research persons, and the chairperson of this session are creme de la creme, and you will soon be experiencing the length of the presentation. Their ethereal presence will definitely contribute to the success of this international conference. Their works have widely recognized, earning numerous awards, honors, accolades from prestigious institutions around the world. Beyond professional achievements, our chief guests are admired for their leadership, integrity, and dedication to fostering global cooperation and sustainable development. Their insights and experiences continue to inspire academics, policymakers, and practitioners alike. We are truly honored by their presence today, and we are confident that their words will enrich our discussions and motivate us to strive for excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm and heartfelt welcome to our esteemed chief guest once again.
Thank you, sir. You have to contribute words with a short summary. Now the trigger is set, and I will request resource person, Professor Ajay Sangli, to deliver his keynote address on this international conference. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, everyone, sir, for the introduction, for the very generous one. Thank you. And I apologize if it cost you alexithymia. So the clinical psychologist in me is very concerned, but I know you mean it well. Okay. Thank you. And well, this is a very nice event. This is not my first time to talk to people, but every time I start talking, I feel so nervous, just like what I'm feeling right now. So, but before that, I'd like to thank everyone who made this possible and my co-speakers here, a very good friend of mine from Indonesia, Dr. Yupi, and Sir, our professor, Dr. here. Thank you so much. Okay, we are very honored to share this moment with you. And of course, a very special shout out and thanks to my awa, Dr. Melinda Smoke, okay, for making this possible. And I'd like to say this, and this is the one that I got from another friend of mine, Dr. Yeah, to Dr. Binaya. I'd like to say this. I hope I'm going to pronounce this correctly. Milin Cha Nagkarayacha Nahi. Thank you so much. Okay, so without further ado, let me start my presentation on with the title "The Cost of Mental Peace: Global Perspective on Anxiety Economy." Um, Prior to the invitation of Dr. Milin to me, last December, I believe, there's a media outlet in the Philippines who contacted me and would like to interview me for a television series about anxiety economy. And when they told me that my topic is anxiety economy, I told them I'm a psychologist, I'm not an economist. Okay, so why am I the one to discuss about it? Needless to say that I didn't know anything about anxiety economy back then. It's a new thing for me. But of course, we are learners, okay, a lifelong learners, and it gives me a challenge to know more about anxiety economy. And it's very simple. The stresses that we feel every day is a currency. So the more stress you feel, the more you pay. Okay? And we earn it by actually not being stressed, so to speak. Okay? So that's why I'd like to look at if the Philippines at the moment is experiencing what we call anxiety economy, then it must be true to other countries, much like in India, where Philippines is much like the same. So since yesterday, I was talking with a lot of friends here, and there are a lot of similarities among Filipinos and Indian people. But I will uh, I will rest my case. The Indian people are more good looking than Filipinos. I will rest my case, okay? Because everywhere we go, a lot of beautiful ladies are around, a lot of handsome men are around. So I said, okay, so Indians are more handsome and more beautiful than Filipinos. But hey, I'm the speaker. So start so with some survey. So as a psychologist, I always love to do some quick surveys. So I'm inviting everyone to participate. This is how I do it. I always like to interact with my audience. Okay, and whenever I also do my lectures in the master's and PhD levels, even in undergrad, if my students are not answering me, I get angry. So don't make me angry, okay? I'm just kidding. Okay, so Which face comes closest to how you feel this morning? I have here 7 smiley faces. One would be the happiest, 7 would be the saddest. So it's just inverted. Okay, so who just raise your hand. Okay, who are on the 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3. Who? Okay, so that's more than half of it. Okay, 4. Who's on the 4? 4, the 1. Okay, there are some. 5, 6, 7. Okay, there are some. So those who did not raise their hands, what's your problem? Sorry, ma'am? Joint problem. Joint problems. Okay. So later, that's a bit psychotherapy. Sorry? So, next time I'm going to make it what? An 8, 9, 10? Next question. How's your, for the students, your academic life? For our good workers here, how's your work life? Okay? Who are on the 1, 2, 3? Okay? So just half of it. Do I see it? Okay? 4. Who's on the 4? Just so. Okay? 5, 6, 7. I saw the others, they would like to raise, but they look around. No one's answer. Your, for the workers, your salary. Okay? Or for the students, your daily allowance. Um, I'm sorry about asking this one. I know this is a personal matter, but
For them.
okay.
The Indian government has been very good for our professors.
Oh, no. So I've heard. So I've heard. Yeah, yeah. Another fellow of my Dr. Vikas Minchikar from GKG told me about that. And when I compare my salary to his salary, I feel like a servant. So, is there any available work here for me? Just kidding. But thank you so much. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3. We're going to 1, 2, 3. Course. All right, very good. So for those who are raised, they put their hand on the 1, 2, 3. I'm looking for new friends, and I want to be friends with you. 4. 4. Just so. So if you want to be friends with them, okay. If not, no problem. 6, 7. Ah, what's happening to you? 8, 9, 10? There's no 8, 9, 10. Thank you. To get to my point, just some few more questions. How about the prices of commodities and services? How do you feel about the prices of the commodities and services here in your country? If I'm going to answer this, I will be on number 5, my personal answer. I'll be on the number 5. How about you? Who are on the 1, 2, 3? Ah, 4. Okay. Oh, that's bad of me since I've already primed you to answer on the 5, 6, 7 because I shared my own answer. 5, 6, 7. There we are. Welcome to the club. Okay, go to the last one. Yeah. Sorry, 7 to the last. How do you feel about spending? 6, 7. See, that's actually quite relevant. Earlier, how do you feel about the prices, the commodity services, 5, 6, 7? But how do you feel about spending 1, 2, 3? You see, that's the exciting economy that we're talking about. I'm going to delve with that a little bit more later. Now, last question. How about your country's economy? How do you feel about? I know India and China right now are the power giants in global economy. Okay? So how do you feel about your country's economy? 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. And those who did not raise their hand, do you actually care about my question? Thank you, thank you. Now, last one. Life as a fool. I'm a psychologist. This is my focus. How do you feel about your life as a whole? One, two, three. Four, five, six, seven. Okay. There are some of you who did not even raise their hand just once from the very first question I raised. But hopefully you will continue to listen. Now, let me discuss about this. Why did I ask about those things? I'd like to know about your well-being. In the field of psychology, this is our main focus, the well-being of everyone. And as much as possible, we want it to be on the one, two, three. In today's society, globally speaking, one of the determinants of our well-being would be it's all about the money, money, money. Right? Right? So earlier we were just discussing and I said there's that what's that poster that says very greatly that the value of our mental health is far greater than the value of money. And indeed that is so true. I would agree. But we cannot deny the fact that people with more money tend to have better mental health than others. Isn't it? Would you be happier if you have more money? Of course. I would be. I don't know to you. So if you don't feel happy, give me your money. I'll definitely be happier. Now, well-being is an important component of a good mental health, and that's what we want to be on the one, two, three. But it's not always on the one, two, three. One thing that we always tell to people is that if you want to be happy, this is my topic yesterday at GKG. If you want to be happy, you have to decide to be happy. If you want to help others, you have to help yourself first. That is absolutely correct. However, I'm on the other side of the spectrum right now. People wants to be happy. People wants to help one another. We are Asian people. We are collectivists. Okay, we're not individualists. As much as possible, we always want to help others. However, on the other side of the spectrum, we are not always in the best position to help others. Right? Why? Because sometimes the economy is not allowing us. I want to help my neighbor, but I need to feed myself first. I want to help my friend, but I need to feed my children first. You get now the point, right? So both ends of the spectrum runs when it comes to our life in general. And that gives us the idea of anxiety economy. Okay? I'm not so sure if you're familiar with these words, but I've only learned about this just over a month ago, okay, in my country, because it's becoming a trend. Now, on the global perspective, what is this? It refers to the economic landscape shaped by widespread anxiety, where anxiety itself becomes not only a personal experience but an economic factor that influences labor productivity, health expenditures, consumption patterns, and public policy. In simple terms, the manner that you experience stress, characterized by anxiety and depression, is a currency. If your mental health is not well, the economy won't be well as well. In any human resource management perspective, the best part of any institution is not the machinery. Who? The people. So if the people are not on their top shape perspective, on top shape form, you won't be able to contribute much. This is what I always tell in my country in the Philippines. In part of our culture, of course, our culture is as beautiful as yours. All right. But one of the downsides of Filipino mentality is that we glorify and we sensationalize poverty. It is okay for a lot of Filipino people to just be, to just be, uh, what's that? Being in a poverty. What's that? Sorry, not the opposite of rich. Help me. Poor. I'm so sorry. I think I'm already hungry. I cannot find my words. Yeah, Filipino people are just okay being poor. And I was telling them, why are you okay that you are poor? You shouldn't be okay being poor. Because if you are poor, then you cannot maximize your mental health and vice versa. But a lot of Filipino would say, I'm okay if we are poor for as long as our family is complete. You see the collectivist perspective. Well, I think some of you would agree with that, but I don't. Because, well, in my place, Philippines corruption index is quite high. I don't know about India. So that propels the corrupt politicians to do more corruption because Filipinos are okay being poor. And I cannot accept that. Okay? We shouldn't. We cannot accept the things that we can change. But we have to change the things that we can accept. Angela Davis, 1972. See, the researcher in me comes in with citation. So that's unsighted economy, being afraid because of the prices of commodities. And now taxes comes in. I don't know how much your taxes here in India, but in the Philippines, our taxes can go as high as 32%. So if I am earning, for example, 100,000 rupees, or just for example, then 32,000 rupees will be my tax. You see how high that is? In my case, I'm working my ass off. I'm sorry for the word. I'm really working hard in the Philippines and I'm earning most of the time more than my colleagues because I'm already a full professor in spite of my young age. So I'm earning more than those who are older than me. But they cannot understand that my taxes are a lot higher than them. And I have two kids. They are single. So when you look at it, my anxiety economy becomes higher compared to them. I hope you understand my point, right? Uh, how many taxes do you have here, Dr. Melin? As high as 20%. See? 25, that's the maximum. In the Philippines, it's 32%. The higher your salary, the higher your tax. If your salary is quite low, it's in the minimum wage, you won't have salary. And you would have what? Subsidy from the government. And where does the subsidy comes? From the taxpayers people, from my salary. See how it goes. Okay, that's crazy. Now, let's go around. Global economic burden of anxiety and related condition. Depression and anxiety disorders cost the global economy approximately 1 trillion US dollars annually. And I checked my source. It's the latest one from the WHO. Lost productive work is estimated at about 12 billion working days per year. And without skilled up treatment, these disorders would cost up to 16 trillion by 2030. If we don't improve the mental health of our workers, of our people, the cost of the anxiety economic burden will rise to 16 trillion. Okay, what does it mean? If you are working, if you are studying, and you feel anxiety and depression, you cannot study, you cannot work. So the productivity will be low. So mental health has a direct and indirect impact when it comes to global economy. All right. Let's proceed to the next one. Now, as I'm talking about the direct and the indirect one. So the direct in epidemiological analysis, anxiety disorders alone showed high lifetime economic implications with costs reaching tens of billions, even in country level studies. So those workers who are very efficient in what they do, okay, of course, there's a lot of things that play into it, like I don't know here in India, but in the Philippines, if you are the top performer, you'll be the employee with most work. Is it the same here? See, it shouldn't be that way. Because the top performer will back down. Because you keep on putting a lot of work to the top performer. And what would be the impact of it? The person could experience depression, anxiety, and all area of stresses. Now, could that person function to the best of his or her ability? No. Hence, the cost of it. The cost of mental peace. You shouldn't be able to experience that much, although we accept and understand that in everything that we do, we experience stress. That's part of our everyday living. But having something to be stressed about for, or to be stressed about, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be stressed by it. Okay? Having stresses and being stressed by those stimulus are two different things. That's why we need to capacitate people to improve their mental health. Hi, are you okay? I'm afraid with your silence. Okay, but I'm assuming your silence is because you're listening to me and digesting what I'm saying, right? Okay, very good. Thank you. So indirect costs, such as a reduced labor force participation, often far exceed direct healthcare expenses because of lost output, increased welfare dependence, and lower tax revenues. So the indirect cost would mean that eventually the target of a specific company won't be reached. Why? Because the top performing people are not there to work. Okay? Now that's the drivers of global anxiety economy. Just a few more slides. I think 658 more slides. Kidding. Sorry. How to go back? There. Okay. Surveillance and under-treatment. Mental health conditions are widespread, yet treatment gaps remain large, especially in low and middle income countries, where less than 2% of health budgets go to mental health services. This is true both in Philippines and in India, I searched. And in a global perspective, the average budget for mental health services is just 2%. In the Philippines, it's 5%. And it's always subjected to corruption. You only have 5% budget. Say, for example, if you 100 rupee, only 5 rupees will be allotted for mental health. And for that 5 rupee, only a portion of it will go down to the people because it's being corrupted. Okay? And having that kind of budget is quite scary. Okay? Another thing, the one that we're discussing about earlier, the stigmas that surrounds mental health. Why would I go to a psychiatrist? Why would I go to a psychologist? I'm not crazy. You don't have to be crazy to see a psychologist. You don't have to be crazy to go to a psychiatrist. Okay? That kind of mental stigma um, gives more weight when it comes to getting into the prevalence and under treatment. Meaning, people are already experiencing anxiety and depression and they're not seeking help. It cuts both ways. First, they're not seeking help. Secondly, help is not always accessible. So it cuts both ways. That's the problem. Earlier, when we were having our breakfast, me and Dr. Billy, my bawa here, I asked him, how much that is usually cost if you're going to go counseling? And he mentioned 1,500 rupees. Okay, that's the average price. And I converted it in Philippine peso. In the Philippines, it's double that. Okay, it's around 3,500 rupees in the Philippine peso. So it's more than in our place. And yet, not everyone here in your country, since it's already cheaper, I don't think the 1,500 is always accessible. You would rather say buy some foods than to pay that to a shrink, isn't it? Same in my country. But then again, we have to understand that each profession has their specialization. Psychologists, psychiatrists, counselors, like me, are there to improve the mental health of people. Praying would definitely help. I'm unfaithful myself, and it helps. But as we always say in my country, you cannot just pray and pray and pray and do nothing about it. You cannot pray to God to become rich when in fact every day you just sit there. How? Same with our mental health. I want to remove the feelings of anxiety. I want to be happy. But then again, every day you're just there in your house ruminating. What will happen? Nothing. So that's where the psychiatrist and psychologist comes in. All right. Next, global market impacts. Mental health disorders like anxiety reduce workforce effectiveness through absenteeism, missing work due to symptoms. Presenteeism, reduce effectiveness at work when present. So meaning you are always present in spite of your disorder. But then again, you cannot work fully. Okay? Why? Because you are disordered. And unemployment or underemployment due to chronic symptoms. So there are jobs that are hard to fill, and there are jobs that are easy to fill, but no one is qualified, mentally speaking. I'm not sure here in India, but in the Philippines, one of the requirements in order for you to work in the government is that you must have a neuropsychiatric evaluation.
So meaning you have to be mentally stable in order to serve the government, to serve in the government rather. Okay, but that only applies for the rank and file employee, but not to the politicians. We really wish it will apply to the politicians because I know if it's going to be applied to the politicians, no one will be sitting anymore. Okay? Next, structural economic and social pressure, economic instability, job insecurity, inequality, rapid social change, and global crisis are all affecting our economy. So to speak, let me just cut it short. The global pandemic that we experienced roughly 5 years ago impacted the global economy quite high. Okay, and up until now, we are still experiencing it. In my country, the Philippines, it used to be that people are very tough when it comes to challenges and problems. So, for example, in my case, even though I don't feel good, I still need to do the things that I need to do. Why? Because I have no better choice but to do it. If I have a dream, I want something that I need to get into it no matter what. But after the pandemic, people become soft, right? Whenever they just feel a little hardship, they don't want to do it anymore. And in the Philippines, there's this trend among the Generation Z, the young working professionals. You just shout at them just a little, they resign and find another job. Is it the same here? See? So what will happen now in the company? I'm going to allot money to train you, and then just because you didn't like the way you are treated, just for a single day, you resign, you find another one. So there's an impact. That's part of it. That's the structural and social pressure. People all of the sudden see that they have more choices. So that's why they tend to go from one point to another just so easily. Okay? Yeah. And yeah, don't worry, I'm about to end. Sorry. Alright, are you still okay? Alright. Sure? Okay. That's like the economic framework. There's the economic burden. I've already discussed about the economic burden. Okay, the macroeconomic dimension, those things that people cannot do because of their mental health problem. That's the economic burden. Okay, next, market for anxiety mitigation. Uh, I thought it's telling me to stop. So, yeah, I'll run through this quickly. The market for anxiety mitigation, meaning we need to mitigate anxiety, we need to make it lower. However, it's not very easy to do. Two things, the one I mentioned earlier. First, not everyone is seeking help, even though help is available. Secondly, even if the help is available, it's not always accessible. Because of course, it would require certain amount of money. I am a professional. I trained for how many years? So therefore, if I'm going to be what to do what I'm trained for, I need to get paid. But yet, people are not willing to pay. Okay, so that's the problem with it. Okay, next, cost versus investment in treatment. So here, I've already discussed about it as well. What I'm trying to say is that the unsafe economy is quite hard to mitigate because for every stress that you have, certain currency is expended, but not everyone is willing to spend. We're willing to buy a Chanel, a Bulgari, right? We're willing to buy that provided that you have the money, but you're not willing to pay for your psychiatrist, for your psychologist. You don't need to have a lot of problems just for you to be with a psychologist, for example. Psychotherapy is not always just fixing, it's also about improving, to maximize, for you to flourish and not just to survive. I hope everyone would understand that more. Okay? And yeah, this is the last one. Training mental peace as global economic priority. So mental peace is not merely a personal ideal but a societal economic imperative. Meaning, you being happy is not just your personal problem, but it's also a concern for our nation. If Filipino people, Indian people, Indonesian people are happy about what they do, perhaps we won't become a third world country anymore. Philippines is still a third world country. India is still third world country, right? Right? Okay, yeah. In Indonesia is also third world country, right? Yeah. So from mental health perspective, if we don't want to become third world countries anymore, then perhaps we should focus more in terms of our mental health and maximizing our capacities. So why is it a problem? Loss of productivity, face rising social costs, the one I discussed, because it's expensive to seek mental health services and allocate disproportionate resources to coping rather than thriving. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? We are just helping people to cope with their problem, but we're not helping people, healthy people to thrive. We are just providing services for those who we believe are problematic, but those that are normal, we don't tend to check on them. And that's our advocacy. You don't just need to survive, but you need to thrive. Okay? Imagine yourself being happy every day going to your class, to your work. How productive you could be. You see my point? See, there's a global impact to that. There's an economic value to that. Yet, investing in mental services yields positive economic returns and improves quality of life. Hence, the one I said. So, happy workers become happy people and country becomes even happier. So, that's the point of it. Thank you. These are the questions. And I'd like to end this with this quotation. If you want to change the world, go home and love your family. Thank you so much.
Maraming salamat. This was the Philippines. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Your session explored the emerging concept of anxiety economy, where economic pressures, financial uncertainties, and performance-driven systems increasingly affect mental peace and psychological well-being across the globe. In an interconnected world marked by rapid economic transitions, job insecurity, rising living costs, and continuous digital engagement, anxiety has become an unmitigated yet pervasive byproduct of modern economic life. The session examined how global economic structures, fiscal policies, labor markets, and financial instability influence individual and collective mental health. It emphasized that mental peace is no longer solely a personal or medical concern, but a socio-economic issue with global implications. The discussions highlighted the disproportionate impact of economic stress on vulnerable groups, including informal workers, small entrepreneurs, women, youth, and marginalized communities. By adopting a global perspective, the session aimed to connect economic realities with psychological outcomes, encouraging interdisciplinary dialogue among economics, social scientists, psychologists, and policymakers. It seemed to underscore the need for human-centered economic models that balance growth with well-being, productivity with dignity, and financial stability with mental health. Ultimately, your session sparked a deeper understanding of the current costs of economic progress and to advocate for policies and practices that protect mental peace and the vital component of sustainable development. Thank you for the valuable guidance. Now, I request Professor Dr. You to identify her evaluations of psychological impact on mental health. Professor Dr. You, thank you.
Thank you very much for the introduction. So, hello everyone. So, thank you. So, what I just presented before made me really nervous. So, I'm not as extrovert as here. So, hopefully, what I'm saying currently will also have a useful for all of you. So, before I start my presentation, I asked Dr. Lee, can I show you about my university before I start my presentation? So, is it okay? Yes. Okay. So, I'm Yubi. Once again, I come from Jakarta, Indonesia. Jakarta is the capital city of Indonesia. Have you ever been to Indonesia? Is anyone ever go to Indonesia before? No? Oh, okay. Okay, you should come to my country. It's only 5 hours flight. But in my case, to reach India, yesterday I spent more than 1 day. Yeah, because there is a very long delay in Mumbai. Okay, can you help me to open the profile of my university, sir? No, the profile is in the cookie. One that I sent you. Sorry. Um, okay, this will be only like 4 minutes profile video. So check it out.
This rhythm, amid the confluence of tradition and modernity, there begins a story that is not just an institution, but a vision, born from the deepest roots of faith, knowledge, and humanity. The Faculty of Psychology at Universitas Islam Negeri Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta embarked on its journey, a journey that started from the humblest of beginnings, destined to touch the lives of many. 1995 was the year when the Bachelor Program of Psychology was founded, which was based on the Tarbiyah faculty of the State Islamic Institute or EIEN Jakarta at that time. Along with the change in IIN status to UNCR Hidayatullah Jakarta, in 2002 the Bachelor Program also transformed into Faculty of Psychology. Since then, the Faculty of Psychology has gone through a formative period with achievements and accomplishments achieved for more than 2 decades. Established with a far-sighted vision, the Faculty of Psychology at UNCR Hidayatullah Jakarta is committed to producing skilled practitioners and scholars in the field of psychology, providing education that integrates psychological science with Islamic spiritual values. We unleash a new path to understanding human behavior. Life in psychology every day is a new story, from enlightening seminars and enriching research to transformative social action. We are committed to not just educating, but also contributing, building souls who are ready to give, not just receive. Every facility is prepared to support the journey of knowledge, from a complete library to sophisticated laboratories, interactive classrooms, to students' facilities. We ensure that the delivery of knowledge takes place optimally in a conducive and inspiring atmosphere. Carrying the vision to become a leading faculty of psychology that integrates psychological studies with Islamic value, which has an Indonesian character, we run with the mission to educate, research, and serve. Determined to make an impact, we target graduates who are not only academically superior, but also psychologically broad in heart and mind to bring psychology for a better life.
Whenever involved in discipline of psychology, our faculty stands as a beacon of knowledge in quantitative psychology and Islamic psychology. Here, at the Faculty of Psychology, UIN Syarif Jakarta, we are committed to nurturing insightful and meticulous scholars in psychology. Our unique approach integrates fully purposeful of Islamic values with a rigor of psychological science and we need to cultivate professionals who are not only competent in their field, but also compassionate in the field of sales and will also decrease this time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Graduated from the Faculty of Psychology of Indian Studies today at Jakarta. As equipped me with a valuable set of skills and a unique perspective that I carry into my professional life. The integration of Islamic principles in the psychological theory has not only set me apart in my field, but also guided me in making ethical decisions. Faculty's commitment to excellence, innovation, and spirituality has had a lasting impact on my career and personal growth. Thanks to being studied, we did not collecting that bank.
Faculty of Psychology, Jakarta isn't just a place to study, but a home for souls who want to create change and improve the quality of life in society through psychological science.
Hari muda guru dan menjadi bagian dari fakultas psikologi kuliah Shikshan Jakarta.
Thank you very much. Now, when I got invitation to talk about the psychology of economy, I think it's not really my expertise. So my background is I'm a clinical psychologist. Currently, I appointed as a vice dean of academic affairs in Faculty of Psychology at Islamic University of Jakarta, Indonesia, and I also vice president in Indonesian Clinical Psychologists Association. So my background is truly clinical psychology. So my bachelor degree, my master's, and also my PhD topic is was on clinical psychologist. But this is like the unique to me as well. But for this conference, especially, I conducted a small research so I can present in this conference. So I conducted small research that I would like to share with you about the psychosocial impact of tax incentives on entrepreneurship. So this is Indonesia because the sample is from Indonesia. So I just say that as a lesson from Indonesia. But at the end of my presentation, I will try to compare it with India as well. So I conducted the research with 320 small medium enterprises in Indonesia. So I would like to see about their stress and also their self-efficacy in building when the tax reduction impact their business. Okay, next one. Oh, okay. Okay. So before I go further, do you already know what is the entrepreneurship mean? Yes. Can you share with me what is in your perspective? What is the entrepreneurship? There.
Innovation.
Students, yes, sir.
Innovation in this.
Innovation in business. Thank you very much. The other one, students. Guys, hello. Are you still awake? So, if I'm not mistaken, in this part is students, right? Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's correct. You build your own business. Yes, you build your own business with your own innovation, and also with being an entrepreneur, it means that you open so many job opportunities for others. So that's what called entrepreneurship. So the first one, the research gap, why psychosocial perspective. The first one is entrepreneurship is not purely economic. Entrepreneurship is always involved the psychological effect. So
if you want to be an entrepreneur, and then you have to, you have to build a character of the resilience people. Yeah, you already know about the resilience. So because become the entrepreneur, it's not easy. You have to be resilient, you have to be self-confidence, and also have a good communication skill. So entrepreneur, it doesn't mean always economic. Also bring a lot of psychological impact on it. So the second one, being an entrepreneur means that you will have a high stress and uncertainty because you don't know if when you start a business, you don't know whether your business will bring a lot of profit or not, whether your business will be have a good future or not, and it will bring a lot of stress in you. So it is possible. And the third one is policy effects and psychologically mediated. So what the government policy is on the tax reduction or tax exemption is always affect the entrepreneurship. Okay. So in Indonesia context, so I'm sorry, this is the Indonesia because maybe I'm really open to our future collaboration if you want to compare an Indonesian and also an Indian context. So the GDP in Indonesia, the SMEs, small medium enterprises, SMEs stands for small and medium enterprises. 61% contribute to the country income. So in Indonesia, I think this is the same thing also happened in India, if I'm not mistaken. And also, because of SMEs, 97% workforce employed and 50% informal micro enterprises. So this is the condition in Indonesia. And the next one, sorry, let me read it. Okay, then the next one is the tax incentives were designed to reduce burden and encourage formalization, but their psychological meaning is often overlooked. So people who have a policy to reduce or increase the tax, it's sometimes it's only focused on the numbers, how the government can increase the tax, how the government can reduce the tax, but they all overlook the psychological impacts of the tax reduction or the tax increasing. And the policy overview of the tax incentives for the SMEs. The first one is reduce final income tax. The second one is simplify tax reporting, and third one is startup tax holidays. So we want the government to have this kind of overview of the policies before they implement their tax regulation. So for the SMEs, the reduced final income tax will bring a lot of reduced interest, decrease in stress. I mean, and the simplified tax reporting with the simple form, with the simple budgeting report is also affect the condition, the stress reduction in entrepreneurs. Okay, the next one. So based on my research, I built these models. So this is more on the research part. So our model shows that tax incentives work through psychosocial mediators, reducing stress and increasing confidence before influencing business outcome. So this is the tax incentive and psychosocial mediators is reducing stress, increasing self-efficacy, and also increasing perceived reward. So the psychological matters, the psychological effects is always be a mediators between tax incentive and entrepreneurial outcomes. And then this is okay. I always oh yeah. Sorry. Okay. Oh, sorry. And see that. What? Okay. Yes. And the result is when the government have a policy in tax incentive and try to reduce tax incentive, especially for the small medium enterprises, and then the self-efficacy of the entrepreneur is increased 22%. And the growth intention is also increased 30%. And the stress reduction decreased until 80%, 18%, and fear of failure decreased until 50%. So as you can see um, in my presentation. Okay, entrepreneurs receiving incentives show higher motivation and healthier risk taking, indicating improved psychological readiness. So if a government took a really good review on the policy about tax incentive, and then it will be increased some efficacy, growth intention, and reduce stress, and also fear of failure. Okay. And then importantly, tax incentives reduce anxiety related to formal systems, which is a major barrier in developing economies. Okay. So by reviewing the tax policies incentives for the entrepreneurship in the small medium enterprises, so the people will have a higher investment intention and also more adaptive risk behavior and long-term planning orientation for their business. Okay, and then okay, this is the psychological relief effect as impact of the tax reduction. The first one is reduce tax anxiety, improve emotional regulation, and lower avoidance of formal systems. Okay. The research methodology that I use, like I said before, I conducted the research with 3,020 SMS in Indonesia. So I tried to manage my sample according to their profit per month and also their number of their employees. So I included in my survey. And then I use it for scales and analysis, integration, and mediation. And then the scale is self-efficacy scale and perceived government support scale and also growth in the, sorry, yes, and stress scale. So I'm using for scale to measure the psychosocial impact to the entrepreneurship. Okay. Okay, this is maybe my last presentation. So the India-Indonesia comparison. So India and Indonesia actually share similar entrepreneurial ecosystem, suggesting these psychosocial mechanisms are highly transferable. So the indicator for the informal sector, I believe Indonesia and India, Indonesia is high and India is very high. Do you agree with this? Yes. And also the family business, Indonesia is dominant, India is dominant as well. So I met yesterday, not yesterday, 2 days ago. I'm using Star Air from Mumbai to Urin-Islampur, and it belongs to some the most Sanjay Gudawan. And he also owned the university, right? Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's the proof of this. Yes. This research. And I think he also came to the conference yesterday. Yeah. To our conference yesterday. And also the entrepreneurs trust India and Indonesia is also high. So this is the result of my research and the conclusion. Effective entrepreneurship policy reduce psychological burden, not only tax burden. Okay, thank you very much. Hopefully useful. Thank you again for having me. We can continue now.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
bringing with the interaction, you after focusing Indonesian economic conditions and entrepreneurship, you compare with the Indian entrepreneurship and the psychological impact of attacks, institute down into the country. It was about constraints and uncertainty. You talked about policies and then you presented your research models and finally using your skills you came to the conclusion. Thank you for your valuable insight on this topic. I would like to call to make service address to the audience. Professor Dr. Rajan Sir, Hail Assembly Pune University, Pune.
Chairperson of Pacific Realization. So first I would like to extend my gratitude to this specific kind of organizer. So I extend my gratitude first to the Karmaveer Bhaurao Patil College management, all people, as well as all dignitaries who attended this and as well as who organized this conference. So as well as also I would like to also take the opportunity to say thank you for inviting me for a chairperson of this plenary session. Uh, Today's guest, Professor Dr. Arjun Masanta, Philippines, and Professor UP Agri, Indonesia. So the both were given the very good kind of speech on the topic. So I'm very much curious about and very happy to be a part of this conference because this is a tax and health. The combination of these things, normally people don't think in psychology. You know? But normally these are part and parcel of our life. Taxes we pay, and which is impacting our psychological health. So I am precisely giving only two examples and I am concluding my talk. So first experience I want to share with you. I have been to the Spain and Portugal. So there is a I was taking a tea every day with one tea stall, but it was not like this. It was very rich kind of things. So every day, whenever I used to pay €1, 1.5, 1.32 cents also. So the person who was giving me tea, he used to also give me a 1 percent incident, one small receipt. So I said, after 3 days, I said, it is essential to produce the receipt for only 1 point something cents every day. Is it a compulsory fee? He said yes. Because this is what exactly we are earning for the country, and for whatever we are earning, it is our, we can say, the responsibility to pay for the country also. So this is what exactly showing the burdens are not taxes. The burdens are taken by the people. How much depend? So they know very well whatever I'm earning, we are very big country. Now we are holding the first position in the world. Okay. But I was talking to ma'am also. How many taxpayer coming into the bracket? Only 3 to 6% taxpayer officially pays the taxes. And the rest of the people, 90 to 94% population, those who are not paying the taxes. That is the one. Second thing is that this is really matter for all of us because economy always run or the government always run some good kind of the we can say the schemes after whatever the taxes we are giving and then for poor social economical making social economical balance or we can say harmony strength for the poor or some specific things. But this is not sufficient for that because whatever taxes we are paying that, we are not asking the questions for the government or any other. See how much we are paying and how much the percentage you are spending on the taxes, and what kind of the facilities and supportive things you are getting. So this is what exactly we have. We don't ask any question. This is the difference between we and them. When we I'm telling about the other country, they are very precise. Switzerland, very small country. Precisely, they know very well our whole economy is based on the tourist people. So they never create any chaos to the tourists. They respect people and they also tell us if we are very small, we have to maintain our existence on the earth, and because of that, whatever the resources we have to be use that resources very carefully. Very carefully. When we have a less resources, then we respect a lot. But when we have a lot of resources, then we don't respect. So before concluding my this specific topic, I would like to give an example of the Maharashtra state. This is not a criticism on any state or any. Okay. First, this is my small before starting and giving this kind of the apology. So you must be knowing that the Maharashtra government started one scheme to start the small entrepreneurship. The amount is 7 billion. 7 crores. 7 crores, which run by Maharashtra's social welfare department, Samaj Kalyan Office. And that is only for some specific kind of the, we can say the caste or we can say the section. Anusuchit Jati and Zaman. And we know very well, we have a different types of the corporations or we can say the boards to develop this specific kind of the section of the data. And so you can take the all kind of underwater sati and a lot. Now like education also sati is there, bhati is there, everybody. But this scheme is providing the economical support as well as resources to the person. And the objective of this scheme is what exactly? You start business with this specific scheme and you make the more people independent, economically independent, and we are providing you 7 million 7 कोटी महाराष्ट्रामध्ये सांग आणि याला 50% सबसिडी आहे. So unfortunately is that this whatever the game is starting now, only for the subsidy. So when very few people they never try to do this kind of research also. It takes one specific kind of the we can say one scheme and then try to identify, understand the success of that specific scheme. How much revenue we are getting through that scheme and how much losses we are getting through that scheme. अगर किसी ने if I say that I want to do something within this specific kind of area, I want to understand the successfulness of this specific scheme through my research. I don't know whether I will go on my feet out of this Islampur, I don't know. And this is what exactly, let me tell you one thing. The common people who have a basic idea of this kind of we can say the business and entrepreneurship, whatever the question she asked, what is the entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurs are supported, resources are provided, and then they create the atmosphere. That one man creates 3 people, family, then society, then someone. The thing is that very few people, those who taken this specific kind of the loan under this scheme, only 2 to 3% people they started something, and 98% people they did not start anything. we got 35%, 50% is already cut down from there, or nobody will ask. We आपका काम 3.5 करोड़ कर रहा है, आप उतना लेके जाइए और बाद में हमें देने दीजिए. Unfortunately, the all people, I'm not all, but most of the percentage people, those who are getting the benefit of this scheme are the कार्यकर्ता of big partners. This is what exactly we are looking forward. So, whatever the taxes, whatever the things we are doing that is not planning in the proper way. पैसा तो बहुत जाता है. I'm not commenting because I'm not politician. But that is doesn't mean that I'm not politician. I supposed to be quite on the observing the social stuff. क्या हो रहा है? What society is going through, what the youngsters are doing, why they are not doing, what kind of the resources they are getting, not getting. So now, if we see the GDP and this is different part, economically different part. Yesterday, election completed, the one biggest municipal corporation in India, the Mumbai Municipal Corporation. You all people know that what is the budget, annual budget, how much? 4 point something thousand crore. And this is a very two state, equal to two states. That means money doesn't matter. Paisa hai. We have money, but we don't have a plan to spend. And then, which is creating this disparity within the society. The people, those who are earning, they want to get more earning. They don't want to spend a lot. And very simple thing is that here 2.30 है ऊपर के taxpayer. Every time after every we can say financial year they are getting some percentage increase. कि भाई आपका इतना कटेगा. I'm saying कि भाई government of India is a very म्हटलं की महाराष्ट्र किंवा स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंट फारच आमच्या प्राध्यापकांसाठी फार दयाळू फार पैसे देतात. पण तो प्राध्यापक 3 महिन्याचा पगार टॅक्सेस मध्ये देतो. And this all is the white money. This is not any black money. Okay. So our priority is what exactly, whatever I'm doing that, whatever I'm purchasing. So whether it is going to the government treasury, that is our duty. Whatever the, sometimes we are getting penalty. We compromise penalty. पेनल्टी हो गया अभी आपको जो अगर आपका रॉन्ग साइड चल रहा है आपको पुलिस से पकड़ लिया रॉन्ग साइड में 10,000 का आपको चालान कटने वाला भी कॉशियस 1,000 का चालान दिए 10 मांग रहे हैं आप आखिरी में 200 2 पे माइनस प्लस हो जाएगा 200 पे बट इफ यू आर पेइंग 500 रुपीस इट इज गोइंग टू द गवर्नमेंट तो एटलीस्ट वी कैन आस्क सम क्वेश्चंस टू गवर्नमेंट इसको कौन पूछने वाला है. So this is not the taxes. Taxes we are paying a lot, but responsibility of taxpayer is we are not fulfilling that specific part. This is what exactly creating the problem in the society. Psychosocial imbalance. So that is my topic that we will discuss later on. And I'm concluding here once again for saying thank you to all listening me very patiently and showing very positive responses. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your comments on this addressing session. Thank you one and all the dignitaries and chairperson of this addressing. Now the next is another consecutive section is there. The first plenary session. The first plenary session will begin after this. Before that, I request Professor Dr. Sangli to propose the top plans of this addressing session.
Dr. Nath. Respected keynote addressee, esteemed Professor Dr. Angel Mafanda from Philippines, and esteemed Professor Dr. UP Yadriandi from Indonesia.
on the dais and respected dignitaries on the dais. Also, the chairperson of this session, Professor Dr. Rajendra Maske, Head of the Department, Psychology, Science by Phule, Pune University, Pune, and distinguished delegates, faculty members, and dear participants. It is my honor and pleasure to extend a warm vote of thanks for the truly inspiring keynote address. We are deeply grateful to our distinguished speaker, Professor Dr. Anjan Masanda, Professor Dr. U.P. Adriani. Your talks on the cost of mental peace and psychosocial impact of tax intentions on entrepreneurship, lesson from Indonesia, and also the tour of Indonesian Jakarta University. Dr. Jakarta University and the global perspectives, real life examples, and practical insights you shared will stay with us for a long after this session and guide our future work in psychology. A special and heartfelt thanks to our chairperson of this session, Professor Dr. Rajendra Maske. Your guidance and encouragement, your presence today adds so much value and motivates us on strive for excellence in psychology. I also thankful to the respected President, Vice President of Mahatma Phule Shikshan Sanstha, Managing Council members, respected Chairperson of College Development Committee of KBP College Islampur, also Dr. Vinayak Onmare and other dignitaries. We also sincerely thanks to all our participants, students, and faculty members. Your curiosity, thoughtful questions, and enthusiastic engagement made these sessions lively and meaningful. A big thank to our organizing committee volunteers and support staff. Your dedication and teams made this session smooth and successful. On behalf of the organizing committee, I once again thank our eminent speakers, respected chairpersons, and all participants. We hope to carry forward the knowledge and inspiration shared today and continue learning from your guidance in the future. Thank you all, and may the rest of this conference be as enlightening and inspiring as this session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. After the vote of thanks, the next session will begin here. Concluding section, plenary section one, and may I request the esteemed presence of our resource person, Honorable Sri Patil and the chairperson of this plenary session is Professor Dr. Bhaurao. Sir, I request them to grace the dais. The resource person of this plenary session, Honorable Sri Patil, member managing council, operating council. I request Dr. Karmaveer to introduce today's dignitaries.
Thank you, sir. I am here to introduce resource person of this session and chairperson of this session. The resource person is well-known person on our campus, Dr. Patil, and chairperson Dr. Nadan myself. There no formal need to introduce her because her presence introduces her always. Wherever you see her at any meeting, IQAC meeting, CDC meeting, there are four major parameters of national education policy, which is recently introduced by Government of India: input, process, output, and impact. We traditionally work with input and somehow or at some percentage at process, but we don't think on output and impact. And if you want to see how outputs are measured and how impacts are measured, you should hear Sangeeta. Wherever she asks different questions to us, She raises different doubts on different policies, different decisions that we put in our different academic and administrative meetings. You will realize her deep understanding of education and the institution that they should work on. It is indeed a privilege to introduce Mrs. Sangeeta Prashant Patil, a dynamic professional, educationist at heart, and a committed social contributor. Two places have constructed her personality as her residences. First is Kolhapur, a land of social movements, thoughts, and progressive ideas, and second is Mumbai, a land of all humility. Her early life of formative days have been spent at the prestigious New Era High School, an international boarding school, Pasgani, junior college education from New College, Kolhapur, and a bachelor's degree in mathematics from Sanstha College, Vile, Mumbai. With an impressive professional journey spanning multiple sectors, Mrs. Sangeeta Patil, her career with began her career with Jet Airways, where she served for 5 years as a manager in the Premier and VIP department. She later worked as head of operations at Sankal Constructions, demonstrating exceptional leadership and operational expertise. For the past 6 years, she has been associated with the multinational organization Alpine Dax India Private Limited, Mumbai, as head of sales for the petroleum sector. Additionally, for the last 3 years, she has been successfully managing responsibilities as operational manager at Carrick Bain Rail LLP Mumbai head office. Beyond her corporate achievements, Mrs. Sangeeta Patil is deeply involved in social and educational initiatives. She is a member of Chhatrapati Shivaji Vidyalaya Vile, actively supports the holistic development of students in Sagar Patil Vidyalaya Javali, serves as the general body member of Brain Shikshan Sanstha Satara, and holds the esteemed position of chairman of College Development Committees of Rajarshi Shahu College, Kolhapur, Karmaveer Patil College, Islampur, Professor N.D. Patil Law College, Islampur, and a few more college of Brain Shikshan Sanstha. Her life philosophy is deeply inspired by the ideals of her father-in-law, Dr. A.D. Patil, and mother-in-law, Saroj Patil, renowned educationist and social activist. Under their guidance, she has imbibed the values of service, compassion, and the transformative power of education for the underprivileged. She has been happily married to Mr. Prashant Narayan Patil for the past 36 years and is a proud mother of Ms. Ria Patil, who has completed her master's in marketing analytics from Fordham University, New York, and is currently working as a business development manager in Manhattan, New York. Her international schooling and diverse professional exposure have shaped her into ND Party's school of ideas as thinker who firmly believes that humanity is the true religion. Security beyond cultures and beliefs. With a vast experience, strong administrative document, and lifelong commitment to learning and service, Mrs. Sangeeta Patil truly embodies leadership with purpose. As the chairperson of the College Development Committee, she has been the guiding compass and silent strength behind the overall and comprehensive growth of our institution. Her perseverance stands like a lighthouse, steering us through challenges, while her competence and courage act as the key pillars supporting our journey towards excellence. Her keen eye for review, thoughtful feedback, and meticulous evaluation serves as a mirror that reflects our strengths and a lamp that illuminates areas for growth. With every insight she shares, she infuses confidence, ignites life purpose, and inspires us to walk unwaveringly on the path of knowledge, integrity, and academic excellence. Her role in our college is born rich fruit, guiding the institution steering on the path of excellence. With vision rooted in values and action aligned with purpose, she continues the illustrious legacy of Dr. N.D. Patil, not merely by preserving it, but by translating ideas into practical steps that meet the needs of the hour. Through thoughtful leadership and timely decisions, she ensures that tradition walks hand in hand with innovation, enabling our college to rise, evolve, and excel in a changing educational landscape. We strongly believe that in her leadership, we will march and achieve the vision of our college, that is, welfare of the masses through quality education. With this, we have Dr. Bharat Naik as the chairperson of this session. He has played instrumental role in different academic and administrative achievements of different institutions from Shivaji University to Mahatma College. He has completed his post-graduation in psychology and philosophy and pursued PhD from Shivaji University, Kolhapur. He works as head professor psychology department of psychology, Mahatma College, Kolhapur. He has experience of 35 years as a teacher at UG and 18 years as a teacher at PG. He has completed University Grants Commission's research project, minor research project, and a few other research projects of Shivaji University and other bodies. He has produced 6 PhD students as a research guide, and 10 students are pursuing their PhDs under his guidance. He has authored or co-authored 30 books and 29 research articles with his vision and understanding on different parameters of society, psychology, and philosophy. 20 papers he has presented at international conferences and seminars. He has worked as chairman of Board of Studies in Psychology, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and different academic bodies of the university. He has played the role of former president of Marathi Manushree Parishad, IQAC coordinator of Mahavir College, dean of the Mahavir College Department of Psychology, and Board of Studies at Solapur University, Solapur. He is the subject expert of psychology for Maharashtra Public Service Commission, and with his considering his entire contribution, Shivaji University has conferred on Barrister P.G. Patil Ideal Teacher Award 2018 to Dr. Bharat Naik. With this small introduction of our guest, chairperson, thank you.
Thank you, sir. It is now a privilege to share this part of our program as a felicitation. I would like to request Professor Dr. Bhaurao Kamar to felicitate today's chairperson, Professor Dr. Bharat Naik sir. The token of love, felicitation, a book, and a plaque. Now I request Dr. Dist sir to felicitate today's resource person, Honorable Sangeeta Patil. Thank you, Honorable. And now I request Honorable resource person, Sangeeta Patil to address the gathering.
It is our honor to have Dr. Arjun, Dr. Yuhi Adriana, Dr. Vikas. Sir, you're leaving, but I'm very honored that you're here. Oh, you're going? Okay, fine. Dr. Vikas Venchekar and Dr. Bharat Naik on the dais and attending our conference. Today, actually, I have, when the team asked me to speak, I said I'm not an expertise, as Yuki said, that to speak on this topic of GST as well as psychology. But one thing I do understand, I think the psychology department is very angry with me. आपल्याकडे असं काहीतरी मनाचं बोललं तर एक फटके जीव का तुला काय बोलते तू असं काहीतरी मिळेल. But आता हा तो this is not the age where we say that whatever is done, we bury it. Whatever we feel, we hide it. A little bit of Mr. Arjun once had said was that we don't speak our mind, and there is also in terms of money that we are not, we feel like in Indonesia, you're from Philippines, you said that uh, being poor is good, being poor is okay, and that is also in India. If you see all our Hindi films, Balidan, sacrifice is high ideals, but this is not your opinion. But this is not what we should be doing. What he said was, if you are happy, if you are sustained, and this mind you goes to all the 50% of this crowd is the women. If you are happy, not selfish, but truly happy with compassion, with care, and understanding what you need to give for your family and your community, then only you will be able to deliver the best. Right? Yeah. If that's what I got from Dr. Arjan's input. So when we do study and when we do see in these conferences or when we participate, we should understand how we can imbibe, how we can learn from these little things. So we will be having more of this international today, the psychology department. But I look forward every time. I think Mr. Malvi sir rightfully said he will very nicely glorified. But I'm totally arguing with all of them that this needs to be done, this needs to be done, we need to have this. Why isn't this done? That's what I do actually. He spoke very nice of me. Yeah. So we will be looking forward to more international conferences because today you all are using all this medium. You will hear the president of USA, Mr. Trump, on your social media, but you can't think small. We need to think big. We need to understand global situation. As Miss Yupi said, that she compared Indonesia with India. We have the same problems. They also have taxes. Even we are now following the same patterns as taxes. So these issues are common globally, which we need to be aware and address. So we cannot just say माझं नुसतं इस्लामपूर पर्यंत सीमित आहे. मी इथलाच मुलगा बघणार आणि इथं मस्त केमिकल professor होणार. That shouldn't be our view. And for the guys, it should be that we are being entrepreneurial, as Sir said. And girls also are entrepreneurial. And so we need to expand our views on not only making money, but the effects of the money that is being made. Okay. So this is a bit on what I collectively learned from this conference and the point of views that all the speakers gave. So we should keep an open mind, an inquiring mind, and how we can make a difference. But for me, the topic which I chose was talking about my father-in-law, which I'm saying. He's a social activist, reformer, wellness associate. He passed away. Today is his 4th death anniversary. So I thought maybe I should speak and take this opportunity to talk about him, his views, and how he's become my role model. Through seeing him, yeah, I think this topic of GST you would have protested, and in one of his protests, that is a big economics was his what he studied, and he even did law. So he did understand money, but people, or rather, our family was like he never wanted to make money. You said that he should make money, but he was that he left his profession as a teacher, as a he was professor, he was principal, and he took to the streets to help the common man. So this I'm spoken is because today's world we should understand that this stress is happening because our passions and what our capabilities and what is all being misaligned. Just because you are seeing social media, you are seeing, oh, this one has this. So I do not have, then there is this thing that comes. Right, see your gap. So looking at my father-in-law, I will say that he took to what you are passionate about. What you're passionate about. Now, what's all the speakers today here were talking about stress, but my father-in-law's saying was always that when I go to bed and put my head on the pillow, I get a good night's sleep. Why? Because he followed his passion. He could make money, lots of money. He was an excellent orator, excellent lawyer. He even in his political career, he did do a lot of this. And that's where his skills came. But he found peace with what he decided to do. That's another view that his wife felt that we should have made some money for the family. So this is what I think and imbibe from this session today. I have written a small note, which is a little bit on more technical and factual about the situation here of this college of independent research, who is my partner here, and a little bit on how the college is functioning, the ideas. So I'm just going to give you a little more introduction on it. All dignitaries present on the stage for the international conference organized by the Department of Psychology, expert scholars from various colleges, and my young student friends. On behalf of Mahatma Phule Education Society, I wholeheartedly welcome you all to this college, which is named after great educationalist Dr. Karmaveer Bhaurao Patil. This college has a long tradition of egalitarian ideals, which follows the principle that everyone should have equal rights and opportunities. In fact, this college was developed with the very purpose of establishing equality all levels of society. The strong legacy of the egalitarian ideals of the senior social thinker, leader of the working class, respected Dr. Henry Patil Sahib, is a strong force in the formation of this college. He carried a great rich legacy of the social leaders. So how we learn from leaders around us what we read. His leaders were Mahatma Phule, which the trust is named by Rajashri Shaw Maharaj, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, who wrote our constitution, Maharishi Vikrama Shinde, Mahatma Gandhi, Sant Gadge Baba, Karl Marx, and Karmaveer Bhaurao. Through these leaders' learnings, he structured his life. Anybody himself completed his education in economics and later did his writing. He was awarded doctorates by 3 universities in Maharashtra for his politics and social work. A little instant and adding to this, I was yesterday at another function where people were saying he's from the state here in this district. And why is a district way far north in Maharashtra and giving him a doctorate? So for that, the people said that he has studied Maharashtra in so much of detail in through his full learning years, adulthood, and gone into all the small villages on two-wheeler, but he knows each area, each village, what are the actual problems, what is the situation. So in this, he really went to the depth of whatever he did, and then fought for the people. So that's what they said was that Maratha Institute
He said because he knew the people better than the current minister and better than the current enemy. That's why he's deserving of that doctorate. So he has got three doctorates from different universities, and one is also Shivaji University, which I think yesterday I went and I came to know that he has actually one of the ones who has formed the university. Okay. So in that, he's been very partial to this college. Okay. And so to add to it that any Patil side grew up in this land, which is called Bhaurao, which has developed many leaders and freedom fighters who have struggled for the independence of India. So to say that people of this region are rich in its ideas and patriotism. So all of your girls and boys, just remember from what your legacy is. In his political contribution, N.D. Patil Sahib served as a member of Legislative Council for 18 years and member of Legislative Assembly from contested from Kolhapur for 5 years. He was a Minister of Corporation for 2 years. N.D. Patil Sahib represents a glorious chapter in the social and political life of Maharashtra. A person who placed moral values the highest level and acted accordingly, regardless of the consequences. He was truly very brave. He lived an extraordinary and dynamic life of public service. He lived very little for himself and mostly for common people's issues. In today's time, it is simply impossible for anyone to live such a dedicated and selfless life. His life was so turbulent and fearless that it would leave people astonished. I will say even myself. I just didn't understand how he was so fearless and so strong with his convictions that he didn't care of the consequences. So I will say to the young students here today, he's a guide in every sense for future generations for a simple and humble living. This people's leader, N.D. Patil Sahib, who prioritized the interests of the exploited, the oppressed, and the downtrodden people at a grassroots level, dedicated his life wholly for the common people. Through movements and agitations, he built constructive work for the benefit of society. His politics was aimed to eradicate social problems. The history of social and political movements in post-independence Maharashtra is incomplete without the two letters ND. A firm ideological stance was the core of his personality. He dedicated himself completely to the struggles he fought throughout his life. In public, in public life, he was remarkably transparent and extremely honest to his principles. He was ready to pay any price for his ideologies. He never succumbed to any temptations for power. His, his inherent nature was to fight with complete dedication in every cause he took up. A sense of justice, indignation against injustice, continuous study, incessant contemplation, fearlessness, and morality were the weapons of his struggle. It was on the strength of these that he successfully waged many battles. So when I did a little bit on him, I understood why he was so fearless. He spent his entire life understanding and resolving the problems of the common people. He fought the battle for remunerated prices for the agricultural produce with utmost integrity throughout his life, paying a heavy price for it. He was deeply disturbed by the farmers' suicides that began in the 1990s in India. I think my days just got a little mixed up. To educate the severity of the problem, he continuously waged a fierce struggle against the government for the farmers. In 1972, this is very much in this area itself, or rather this town itself. Ordinary people and farmers were suffering immensely. Food was scarce. At such a time, the government's responsibility was crucial. However, the government neglected the issue. At this critical juncture, any public servant did not remain silent. On October 19, 1972, he led a farmers' march to the Urun-Islampur Tehsil office to demand the relief of the drought-affected people. The police opened fire on the marchers who had gone to the government with their legitimate demands, and four activists of the Peasants Workers' Party were martyred in the fire. Among them was his own nephew. The commission appointed to investigate the firing ruled that demands of the cause was justified and the firing was excessive and unnecessary. Another protest of his was Enron. So this was very economical, very much to money and anxiety cost to normal people. That's how I associate to what you all are doing today. Another protest was Enron. The Maharashtra government signed an agreement with the Enron, an American company, and people had no option but to buy electricity from Enron at exorbitant rates. This electricity rate was unaffordable for the ordinary farmers. At that time, any party side raised a strong protest against Enron company, and the government was forced to cancel the Enron project. In Raigad district, industrialist Ambani state project was to build and approximately was to be built on approximately 45,000 acres of land belonging to 20,000 farmers. The government transferred the farmers' land to Ambani's company name without consulting them. Anybody said was that this is agricultural land. If you're going to take this from them, what is he going to earn? What is he going to, what is his livelihood? Why don't you find barren land for this project? He took, so everybody stood by the farmers, launching a struggle and holding the government accountable. Disregarding his age and health and his handicap due to his hip replacement, he went on a hunger strike at the age of 82. This struggle continued for 4.5 years. This is truly endurance, they say. But he did not lose hope. He took to the streets 27 times for this cause, and in the end secured justice for the farmers of Raigad. He was on the forefront of the Kolhapur Toll protest. This is directly associated with the income of the poor people. Poor people from the areas around Kolhapur would come to Kolhapur for jobs. And they would have to pay a toll of around 50 rupees every day. So this protest was only concerning the common people, but what are they going to earn? Somebody who's getting 2,000 rupees coming for livelihood into Kolhapur and has to pay half, like you're saying 30% you pay to the government, here he has to just to enter a place, pay that. There was no compromise or negotiations with the government. The government, today's CM, Mr. Patil is also through Chandrakanta Patil, Kannada minister, sent many messages for them to come down. They said, okay, we'll change the number plates, we'll allow only the people who are from the other areas to come in. He did not budge. He said, no common man is going to pay the toll. Keeping the common man's interest at priority, the toll was abolished. He dedicated his entire life to the Maharashtra-Karnataka border dispute at Bhaurao. He successfully led numerous struggles within the framework of the constitution. This is why he held an unwavering place in the hearts of the people. He is truly a leader of the common man. Any Patil Sahib was the chairman of Andhra Shraddha Nirmoolan Summit. He did extensive work to abolish superstitious rituals and beliefs. A lot of our staff and students of our college are members and actively participate for the cause. Naming a few, our principal, Dr. Nitin Shinde, and Eknath Patil sir, who are part of our team, and many more, the list goes on, naming a few, are part of this Sanstha. In education field, as the chairman of the Shikshan Sanstha, whom his mentor established, who the college name is Karmaveer Patil. He was a chairman for 20 years and they opened lots of schools. This institute, where Shikshan Sanstha, has around 400 schools and 36 colleges. Under ND Patil sir's guidance, they opened many schools and colleges in the rural and tribal areas. So he avoided metros. He said metros, they have the facilities. Open a college or a school where people do not have that facility. So I think this college was actually first established on the same concept that the local people of Varga should be getting higher education because that time they want many colleges for higher education. He worked as a member of the Primary Education Commission and focused on social reformation through education. This college, Bhaurao in Islampur, was nurtured by Indi Patil Sahib for the children of Tal-Walwa. They have access to higher education. In fact, all local people supported and researched in whatever capacity to form the foundation of this college. This college today offers education in arts, commerce, science streams, including higher secondary, undergraduate, and postgraduate courses, as well as computer science. So we are very much with the current times. The Karmaveer Spardha, Pariksha Prabodhini, is a competitive exam which is held for positions in the government. This was started in our college, and this competitive exam is famous for its governance throughout Maharashtra. Through it, many students have joined the government post in Maharashtra, many girls too. Under the guidance of one of our professors, Dr. Ajit Patil sir. This year, a new college named Professor N.D. Patil College, Urun-Islampur, has been opened. Team is sitting here, they are doing lots of hard work. This is also an entrepreneurial activity where we just started and we are putting a lot of effort to make sure that we can do well. And all the best, I'm sure you all will do well. Now, coming to today's, moreover, the Department of Psychology of this college is a well-established and reputed department. So far, 101 students from this department have secured positions in the merit list of Shivaji University. In the current academic year, one of your colleagues was awarded the Governor's Gold Medal. The Governor's Gold Medal has been awarded to Miss Arya Sanjay Desai, a student of this department of psychology. Additionally, this year, the department has been recognized as a PhD research center by Shivaji University. All credit to the head of department, Dr. G.V. Kamre, and his team, Dr. Tejpal sir, I can see him. Where's Tejpal sir?
He's a
Okay, he's at the culture. Sorry, he handles the culture of that team, so he's not there. And Dr. Milind Deshmukh. I'm sincerely grateful to all of you for listening so patiently. I extend my best wishes to this two-day international conference conducted by the Psychology Department professors once again, G.B. Kamre sir, Dr. Tejpal Jatta, Dr. Milind Deshmukh, and a big thank you to our principal, Dr. Nitin Shinde, and all our staff and volunteers for the encouragement and support of this conference. Thanking you. Namaste.
Thank you, Bhai. The organization of this conference is all part of the college faculty, but it is the hard credit or more than 50% credit goes to Srila Bhai and our continuous feedback.
Yeah, also very thankful to me, but the other side they get
Continuous feedback compel all of us to always work on particular reality side. She doesn't expect more. She only expects what we have decided, just work on them. So always you are inspiration, guide, friend, philosopher for us for this college. Now I request chairperson of this session, Dr. Bharat Naik sir, to share his presidential comments in this very important of the period. Really happy of his contribution, which has enriched the academic excellence of these families.
Respected Sangeeta Patil ma'am, Professor Sangha from Philippines, Professor Vinny Adriani from Indonesia, Dr. Maske sir, Dr. Urun sir, faculty members of this college, research persons, those who are going to present their research paper, participants, all members of the organizing committee of this college, I, friend, student, just Patil ma'am nicely described a dynamic and beautiful portrait of Dr. N.D. Patil sir. We know the N.D. Patil sir, who shapes this city, not only city, but whole Maharashtra. N.D. Patil सरांना आपण सगळेजण ओळखतो, ज्या कॉलेजमध्ये आपण शिकतो. त्यांचे विचार आपल्याला माहिती आहे, त्यांचं कार्य आपल्याला माहिती आहे. त्याचं एक पोर्ट्रेट, डायनॅमिक पोर्ट्रेट, एक चित्रण जस्ट पाटील मॅमनी आता आपल्याला प्रेझेंट केलं आहे. पाटील मॅडमनी ज्या गोष्टी सांगितल्या आपल्याला बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी माहित आहेत. त्या गोष्टी त्या मी न रिपीट करता काही मोजक्या गोष्टी कोल्हापूरचे साधारण 82 पासून मी पाटील सरांच्या समवेत अनेक कार्यक्रमांना आणि अनेक ऍक्टिव्हिटीमध्ये पार्टिसिपेट झालो आणि काही सामाजिक चळवळीशी आम्ही त्यांच्याशी जोडलो गेलो. त्या काही आठवणी या निमित्ताने मी तुम्हाला सांगतो. व्हॉट इज लीडर? हू इज लीडर? आपण नेता कोणाला म्हणतो? तर नेतृत्व ज्याच्यामध्ये असतं त्याला नेता म्हणतात. आज सगळीकडे नेते आहेत हे आपल्याला माहिती आहे. पण आम्ही सायकोलॉजीमध्ये हे मुलांना शिकवतो. लीडर हू लीड्स द मासेस. ज्या समूहाला गती देतो, दिशा देतो, डिरेक्शन देतो, त्या समूह जीवनामध्ये बदल घडवून आणतो. That person is called leader. Who change the society? Who shape the society? ज्या व्यक्तीमुळे समाजामध्ये बदल होतो. मॅमनी जस्ट उल्लेख केला की ज्या गावच्या प्रकल्पामध्ये आम्ही गेलो, आंदोलन केली, सेज रायगडमधल्या 1000 शेतकऱ्यांच्या जमिनी अंबानी घेणार होते. त्याची सगळी कथा वृत्तांत सरांनी त्यांच्या पुस्तकांमध्ये लिहिलेला, आकाशवाणीवरची त्यांची जी भाषण आहे त्या भाषणामध्ये आलेले आहे. टी.एस. पाटील सरांनी, एकनाथ पाटील सरांनी त्या पुस्तकांचं प्रकाशन केले. आपल्या लायब्ररीमध्ये ते पुस्तक आहे, ती वाचा मित्रांनो, जरूर वाचा. स्टुडंट शुड रीड these all books. ती माणूस हा सतत, पाटील मॅडमने असं सांगितलं की पाटीलचं सतत वाचायचं, न्यूजपेपर वाचायची, पुस्तकं वाचायची. म्हणजे पेशंट कधी वाचत असतो का? डॉक्टरला प्रश्न पडायचा की पाटील सर गमतीनं म्हणायचं, हे वाचन म्हणजे माझं मेडिसिन आहे. हे मुलांनी लक्षात घ्या. म्हणून मी मराठीत मला सांगा की हे बघितलंय, माणूस झोपलेला आहे, बेडवर आहे, त्याला उठता येत नाही, अंगावर इथपर्यंत कव्हर केलेल्या बेडशीटनी, पण चष्मा घालून हातामध्ये पुस्तक आणि न्यूजपेपर सगळे वाचल्याशिवाय दिवस जात आणि आंदोलनाशिवाय, एज्युकेशन शिवाय, मुवमेंट शिवाय दिवस जात नाही. अशी व्यक्ती, असं पर्सन अँड डायनॅमिक ग्रेट लीडर म्हणजे एन.डी. पाटील. आजचा दिवस त्यांचा स्मृती दिन आहे, 17 जानेवारीला. त्यांच्या स्मृतीला मी अभिवादन करतो. आणि अशी माणसं, असे पर्सनॅलिटी
आपल्याला सतत नाही भेटणार. सोसायटीमध्ये, हिस्ट्रीमध्ये ही अशी माणसं आपल्याला सतत नाही भेटणार. की याच्यामध्ये खूप वर्षानंतर अशी माणसं जन्माला येतात की ज्या माणसांच्यामुळे समाजाची, ज्या माणसांच्यामुळे माणसांची जडणघडण होते, अशी माणसं घडवणारी, समाजाला बदलवणारी माणसं ही कॅरिस्मॅटिक लिडरशिप मध्ये असतात. ते करिश्मा पण तसं करिश्मा समाजामध्ये शेतकऱ्यांच्या जीवनामध्ये ते शेतकऱ्यांच्या प्रत्येक प्रश्नांबद्दल बारीक सारीक माहिती. आपण ग्रामीण भागातून आलो आहोत, शेतकऱ्यांच्या संबंधांच्या समस्या आपल्याला माहित आहेत. जस्ट ओनली वॉटर, पाण्यावर एक दिवसभर यांनी पाठवायचं बोलत. पाणी पाणी म्हणजे काय, वीज म्हणजे काय, विजेमुळे शेतकऱ्यांचं किती शोषण होतंय हे एक एक दिवसभर वर्कशॉप मध्ये शेतकऱ्यांच्या कार्यशाळेमध्ये बोलत असत, त्याच्याबद्दल भाषण देत असत. वीज असो, पाणी असो, जमीन असो, जंगल असो, शेतकऱ्यांच्या कापसाचे हमी भाव आहेत, त्या हमी भावाबद्दल बोलायचं म्हटलं तर विधानसभेमध्ये, विधान परिषदेमध्ये सुद्धा 2-2, 3-3 तास ते कृषी मंत्र्याला समजून सांगायचे. कृषी मंत्र्याला ज्याला सगळं माहिती पाहिजे तर एनडी पाटील बोलायचे, सांगायचे, संदर्भ द्यायचे, आकडेवारी तोंडपाठ सगळी सांगायची. कुठले करार, कुठले नियम कधी झाले, काय झाले, हे सगळं त्याला तोंडपाठ असायचं. 1990, 1995 च्या लोकसभेच्या रात्री विधानसभेच्या निवडणुका असायच्या आणि कोल्हापूरचे आमचे उमेदवार जे आहेत ते ठरलेले असायचे. एक तर इचलकरंजी मतदारसंघ, लोकसभा मतदारसंघातून मलामध्ये हे सीपीआय सीपीएमचे आमदार होते अनेक वर्ष केलेले, आणि गोविंद पानसरे हे लोकसभेचे उमेदवार, आणि शंकर दोंडी पाटील हे राधानगरीचे उमेदवार. त्यांच्या प्रचारासाठी आम्ही जात असताना त्या प्रचारांमध्ये नागनाथांना नायकवडी सर सुद्धा असायचे. नागनाथांना नायकवडी या भागामध्ये आपल्याला माहिती आहे. आणि त्यांच्या सोबत भाकरी आणि सगळं घरातली जेवण असायचं, ते सगळं मिळून कुठेतरी झाडावर प्रचार सभा झाल्यानंतर दुपारी वगैरे सगळे सगळे खाली जेवायचे. त्याच्यामध्ये ही सगळी माणसं असायची. आमदार शंकर दोंडी पाटील, आमदार साहेब, पानसरे सर, एडी पाटील सर आणि नागनाथांना नायकवडी सुद्धा घरचं जेवण, आणि ते साध्या पद्धतीने असायचं. प्रचार सभा संपल्यानंतर दुपारच्या आणि रात्री सुद्धा तसंच जेवण कुठल्या तरी कार्यकर्त्यांच्या घरी असायचं. रात्री 12-12 वाजेपर्यंत प्रचार सभा होत असताना सुद्धा एनडी पाटील सरांचा आवाज कधी पहाडी आवाज त्याला आपण म्हणतो ना, असा मोठा, विदाऊट माईक, विदाऊट लाईट काही भाषण आम्ही त्यांची ऐकलेत. मी मगाशी मॅडमना काही फोटो दाखवत होतो. शेवटच्या काळामधलं सरांचं भाषण शाहू स्मारकमध्ये झालं. शेतकऱ्यांच्या आणि वेगवेगळ्या चित्रांचं प्रदर्शन आम्ही भरवलं होतं सेक्युलर मुवमेंट मधून. त्या प्रदर्शनाच्या उद्घाटनाला आम्ही त्यांना बोलवलं, घरी गेलो. ते म्हणले मी व्हील चेअरवर आहे, मला कशाला बोलवताय. नाही म्हणतो तुम्हीच यायला पाहिजे. तर ती सगळी चित्र व्हील चेअरवरनं फिरून बघितली आणि शाहू स्मारक मध्ये भाषण 1.5-2 तास, जवळ तास भाषण केलं. शेवटी आम्ही टी.एस. पाटील सर सरांचे जवळचे आहे, त्यांना सांगितलं आता सरांना विश्रांतीची गरज आहे, खूप वेळ बोलले, लाईट नाही, मोठ्या आवाजात बोलताय, आपण सरांना थांबूया. मग टी.एस. पाटील सर जवळ गेल्यानंतर सर थांबले, पण नॉनस्टॉप ते 1.5-2 तासाची भाषण रात्री 11-12 वाजता सुद्धा काही ठिकाणी प्रचार सभांमध्ये असायची. आणि हे वयाच्या 70व्या, 75व्या, 80 वर्षाच्या काळामध्ये हे असायचं. आपल्याला किती वेळ बोलू शकतो आपण, विदाऊट माईक किती वेळ बोलू शकतो, तयारी न करता किती वेळ बोलू शकतो, हे जर बघितलं तर एनडी पाटील साहेब म्हणजे हे आपल्यासाठी एक रोल मॉडेल आहे. पाटील मॅमने जसा उल्लेख केला तसं रोल मॉडेल आपल्यासाठी आहे. त्यांच्यासारखं आपण थोडं तरी वाचन, लेखन, विचार, कृती, काही ना काही चळवळ जरी केली तरी समाजामध्ये बदल निश्चित होऊ शकतो. या म्हणजे रोल मॉडेल आहे. आणि म्हणून एनडी पाटील सरांच्या संदर्भामध्ये एका प्लेनरी सेशन बद्दल न बोलता आपण एक पूर्ण दिवसाची जरी कॉन्फरन्स घेतली तरी ते अपुरं ठरू शकेल. एवढं महान कार्य, अविरत कार्य 70, 80, 85 वर्ष त्याचं वय जास्त आहे, पण चळवळीचं जे वय आहे हे एवढ्या वयाची चळवळीच म्हणजे सोशल मुवमेंट एज ज्याला आपण म्हणतो. तुम्ही सगळ्यांना तुम्हाला माहित आहे मेंटल एज माहित आहे, इमोशनल मेंटल एज क्वेश्चन साठी किंवा आयक्यू साठी आपण ते मेंटल एज बसतो. तसं सामाजिक चळवळीचं वय जर बघितलं तर हे जास्त जास्त हे एनडी पाटील सामाजिक चळवळीचं वय आहे. म्हणजे काही वेळा तर सुरुवातीच्या काळात आम्ही स्कूटरवरून त्यांना फिरताना बघितलं. स्कूटरवरून ते जायचे. नंतर त्यांच्याकडे गाडी असेल तर त्या गाडीमधून जायचे. सुरुवातीला वॉकर त्यांच्याकडे पायाचा ऍक्सिडेंट झाला होता. पायाला नीट चालता येत नव्हतं. सो जस्ट ही वॉज वॉकिंग विथ वॉकर. नंतरच्या काळामध्ये वॉकराला सुरुवातीला स्टिक होती आणि अनेक वेळा कुठल्याही आंदोलनामध्ये ते यायचे, आवर्जून यायचे. माई घरामध्ये असताना माई म्हणायचं की कुठंतरी बाहेर भाषण बिषण घेऊन आले की त्याची तब्येत बरी होती. कुठंतरी आंदोलनात जाऊन आले, भेटून आले, बोलून आले की त्यांचा बीपी वगैरे सगळं सगळं नॉर्मल होते. ते डॉक्टर म्हणायचे हे वाचले ना, वाचन भरपूर केलं की हे बरे होतात. अशी पद्धतीने माणसांचं हे आयुष्य कसं घडतं हे आपण जर बघितलं आणि आताच्या राजकारणाकडे बघितलं तर कुठेही कधीही कुठल्याही बाबतीत कुठल्याही आंदोलनामध्ये कोण कुठे कसं कॉम्प्रोमाइज करता येईल हे आपण बघतोय. पण मी गेली 30-35-40 वर्ष या सगळ्या मुवमेंट मध्ये जवळून बघितलंय. एन.डी. पाटील सर म्हणजे नो कॉम्प्रोमाइज. एवढं आपण कुठल्या माझं खर्चावून डीएसपीना आणि कलेक्टरना कोल्हापूरमध्ये काही आंदोलनामध्ये त्यांनी सांगितले ते गप्पच बसायचे आणि आंदोलकांच्या मागण्या या मान्य आहेत. So social education, social movement, success and no compromise. This is the personality of Indian life. No compromise. सोशल मुवमेंट राबवायची, सक्सेस मिळवायचं आणि कार्यकर्त्यांना धीर द्यायचा, दिलासा द्यायचा, कार्यकर्त्यांच्यापर्यंत समजून घ्यायचं आणि प्रत्येक गावामध्ये त्यांचे ठरलेले कार्यकर्ते त्यांच्या नावानिशी ते त्यांना पाठ असायचे. आणि आज शरद पवार साहेब तिकडे आहे की त्यांनाही आम्ही जवळून बघितलं की प्रत्येक गावामध्ये काही माणसांचे नाव हे अगदी ग्रामपंचायतीमध्ये सदस्य सरपंच वगैरे कोण कोण आहेत, जुन्या काळात कोण होते, हे सगळं जे आहे म्हणजे एकदम चांगल्या व्यक्तिमत्वाचं दर्शन आहे हे आपण लक्षात घ्यायला पाहिजे. सो एनडी पाटील सर म्हणजे एक एक मोठा असा कॅनव्हास आहे असं मी म्हणेन, बिग कॅनव्हास आणि त्याच्यावरचं एक मोठं पोर्ट्रेट आहे. पाटील मॅमनी ते पोर्ट्रेट डिस्क्राईब केलेलं आहे. पण एज्युकेशन मध्ये त्यांचं जे कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन आहे हे खूप मोठं आहे. आपण शिवाजी विद्यापीठाच्या संदर्भामध्ये म्हणतो की शिवाजी विद्यापीठाच्या स्थापनेमध्ये in the establishment of Shivaji University, the guidance of N.D. Patil sir are very important. जी पहिली समिती होती त्या पहिल्या समितीचे सदस्य होते शिवाजी विद्यापीठाच्या स्थापनेसाठीची पहिली समिती. It is very difficult to run the university without any statute, without any act. आज विद्यापीठ स्थापन झालं पण कायदा नाही ना, statute नाही ना, मग काम कसं करायचं? So government of Maharashtra has appointed one special committee and that committee was guiding committee to vice chancellor to run the university. विद्यापीठ चालवण्यासाठी आता ठीक आहे, कायदे आहेत, नवीन नवीन कायदे आहेत, स्टॅट्यूट आहे, ऑर्डिनन्सेस आहे, सगळं ठीक आहे, GR आहे, पण सुरुवातीला विद्यापीठ रन करणं हे व्हेरी व्हेरी डिफिकल्ट होतं. आणि याच्या पाठीमागचं कारण एनडी पाटील सर was a great teacher, great professor and the first principal of this college. 1960 शिवाजी विद्यापीठाचे अगोदरचे हे कॉलेज आहे आणि त्याचे पहिले प्रिन्सिपल आहे आणि ही वॉज अ गुड ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेटर. या महाविद्यालयाबद्दल पहिलं प्रशासन त्यांनी सुरू करून दिलं. नंतरच्या अनेक प्राचार्य शिंदे सरांच्या बरोबरचे अनेक प्राचार्य होऊन गेलेले आहेत. पाटील सर त्याच्यामध्ये सायनागर सर वगैरे त्या सगळ्यांशी आम्ही परिचित आहोत वेगवेगळ्या कामाच्या निमित्तानं आणि सातत्याने या कॉलेजमध्ये जोडलो गेलो. रयत शिक्षण संस्था 1900 जवळपास 40-45 पासून बघा अखेरपर्यंत रयत शिक्षण संस्थेशी त्यांचं कनेक्शन होतं आणि रयत शिक्षण संस्थेचा
दीर्घकाळ 1990च्या दशकामधला चेअरमनशिप जी आहे ती चेअरमनशिप ऑफ एडी पाटील इफेक्टिव्हली रन करण्याचं काम रयत शिक्षण संस्थेचं नवीन नवीन कॉलेजेस तेही अगदी रुरल एरियामध्ये आदिवासी भागामध्ये सुद्धा जाऊन मंत्रालयामधून शाळा मंजूर करून आणलेल्या आहेत, कॉलेजेस मंजूर करून आणलेले आहेत आणि ती रन केलेली आहेत. आणि रयत एज्युकेशन सोसायटी जी आहे ही एशियामधली नंबर 1 ची कोऑपरेटिव्ह बेस्ड आणि जनरल एज्युकेशन ज्याला आपण म्हणतो कॉमन पीपल एज्युकेशन देणारी इन्स्टिट्यूट आहे, बिगर इन्स्टिट्यूट आहे. 3 त्यांनी सतत रन केलेली आहे आणि त्यांची रयत शिक्षण संस्थेमधली एंट्री ही कर्मवीर भाऊराव अण्णांच्या पत्राने झालेली आहे. म्हणजे व्यापक वर्षीला ते गेले नाहीत. कर्मवीर अण्णांनी हे पत्र लिहून त्यांना सांगितलं ह्यांनी का चांगलं केलेलं आहे ह्याला घ्या. ते एव्हिडन्स आहे, ते हिस्टॉरिकल एव्हिडन्स त्याच्यावर शेड्यूल हा सुरुवातीला शेवटपर्यंत पॉलिटिकल पार्टी पार्टनर इथली होती. आज सकाळी एका पार्टीत तर दुपारी एका पार्टीत आणि संध्याकाळी आणि वेगळ्याच पार्टीत जाणारे लोक आहेत. अशा काळात पॉलिटिकल लिडरशिप काय असते हे रोल मॉडेल एडी पाटील सर 1929 पासून ते 2022 पर्यंतचा हा सगळा जर्नी जर आपण बघितला 1929 to 2021 पर्यंत सगळा जर्नी बघितला हा 90 वर्षापेक्षा जास्त आहे. हा सगळा स्ट्रगल जर्नी आहे, संघर्षाचा प्रवास, सतत संघर्ष. ते एडी पाटील सर या ठिकाणी त्यांच्या भाषणामध्ये सतत म्हणायचं की राजकारणामध्ये निवडणुकीमध्ये अपयश जरी आलं ते अनेकदा शेकापला अपयश आलं. आज शेकाप रायगड पुरतीच मर्यादित आहे. जयंत पाटीलचं तेवढेच आहे, अन्यत्र शेकाप नाही. पण मधला काळ असा होता की शेकाप कोल्हापूरच्या परिसरातले सगळे आमदार सतत 20-40 वर्ष हे सगळे शेकापचे आमदार होते. हे सगळे निवडून यायचे. हे त्याच्या पाठीमागचं ग्रेट विजनरी लीडर म्हणजे एडी पाटील. आणि काँग्रेस सुद्धा त्या काळामध्ये कोल्हापूरकडून नामशेष पूर्णपणे झालेली होती. शेकापचे सगळीकडे आमदार सगळ्या मतदारसंघातून कोल्हापूर यायचे आणि शेवटपर्यंत शेकाप त्यांनी पक्ष सोडला नाही. मध्यंतरी अनेक राजकीय उलटापालटी झाल्या तरीही त्यांनी शेवटपर्यंत पॉलिटिकल पार्टी केली नाही. आणि म्हणून ते म्हणायचे राजकारणामध्ये निवडणुकीमध्ये जरी अपयश आलं तरी त्याचा संबंध सामाजिक चळवळीशी कधीही जोडायचा नसतो. सामाजिक चळवळी त्या राजकारणाच्या अपयशाशी जोडायच्या नसतात. सत्तेमध्ये बदल होऊ शकतो, सत्तेमध्ये बदल होऊ शकतो, निवडणुकीमुळे बदल होऊ शकतो, मी आमदार झाल्यामुळे सत्तेमध्ये बदल होऊ शकतो, समाजाच्या व्यवस्थेमध्ये बदल होऊ शकतो. हा गैरसमज आहे असं एडी पाटील म्हणतात. नवसमाज निर्मिती जर तुम्हाला करायची असेल, समाजामध्ये बदल घडवून आणायचा असेल तर जे ह्युमन व्हॅल्यूज आहेत, बेसिक मानवी मूल्य आहेत, ते कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन आहे भारताचं, भारताचे जे संविधान आहे त्याच्याशिवाय आणि फुले शाहू शिवाजी आंबेडकरांच्या विचाराशिवाय आणखी तो विचार करून पुढे महर्षी शिंदेच्या पासून ते कर्मवीर अण्णांच्या पर्यंत नेलेला यांच्या विचाराशिवाय हा महाराष्ट्र बदलू शकत नाही. हे माझं ठाम मत आहे असं एडी पाटील. आणि म्हणून या संस्थेमध्ये, या संस्थेचं नाव आहे, या संस्थेच्या कॅम्पसमध्ये हे सगळा जो विचार आहे, ज्या ऍक्टिव्हिटीज आहेत त्याला सगळं फोकस म्हणजे हे कर्मवीर अण्णा आहे, महर्षी शिंदे, फुले शाहू आंबेडकर आहेत, सगळ्या संस्थेचे नाव वगैरे हे सगळं हे या पद्धतीने करीत. म्हणजे या महापुरुषांच्या तत्वज्ञानाशिवाय आपली आपल्या समाजाच्या बदलाची वाटचाल होऊ शकणार नाही. म्हणून आपण या गोष्टीनं वाटचाल केली पाहिजे, याशिवाय आपल्याला पर्याय नाही असं एडी पाटील सर पुन्हा पुन्हा म्हणत असेल. आणि म्हणून त्यांच्या आजच्या 4थ्या स्मृती दिनी ही कॉन्फरन्स होत असताना खऱ्या अर्थानं त्यांच्या कार्याची ओळख विद्यार्थ्यांना व्हावी, शिक्षकांना माहिती आहे सर त्या सगळे शिक्षक बऱ्याचदा सरांना समय वेगवेगळ्या ऍक्टिव्हिटीच्या निमित्तानं जोडलेले आहेत. म्हणून मी तर असं म्हणेन की महाराष्ट्राची शान आणि आमच्या कोल्हापूरची शान, इस्लामपूरची शान म्हणजे एनडी पाटील सर. टू शेप द इस्लामपूर, टू शेप द कोल्हापूर आणि महाराष्ट्र, या त्यांच्या या सगळ्या सामाजिक जडणघडणीमध्ये महाराष्ट्राच्या अनेकांचं योगदान आहे. त्यापैकी एनडी पाटील सरांचंही योगदान इतिहासाला, इतिहासकारांना हे नोंद करून घ्यावं लागेल. काही त्यांनी ऍक्टिव्हिटी केलेल्या आहेत. काही गोष्टी आहेत की कोल्हापूरमध्ये टोल नाके उभे झाले, टोल वळवायला आणि दोन माणसं, एक एनडी पाटील सर आणि दुसरे पानसरे यांनी घेऊन चळवळ उभी केली. महाराष्ट्रात देशात कुठे घडलं नसेल असं आंदोलन झालं आणि टोल बंद झाला. टोल बंद झाला. त्या दरम्यान कोल्हापूर सांगितलं काम सुरू होतं, टोल नाके उभे राहायचे, पण तिथला टोल आंदोलन सुरू व्हायच्या अगोदरच टोल माफ झाला. अजून पण आहे बघा, तिथे शेड आहे कोल्हापूर सांगली रोड, पण तिथे टोल कलेक्ट केला जात नाही का कोल्हापूर आंदोलन. ऑल क्रेडिट गोज टू एनडी पाटील सर अँड पानसरे, रोहित पानसरे. आणि स्वतः उल्लेख केला मगाशी अंधश्रद्धा चळवळीचा की महाराष्ट्रामध्ये ही चळवळ कॉलेज पर्यंत पोहोचवण्याचं काम आणि जी वाहिनी जे आहे कनेक्शन कसं आहे विद्यार्थ्यांच्या पर्यंत, शिक्षकांच्या पर्यंत नेण्याचं विवेक वाहिनी दाभोळकर सर, त्यांची मुलंही आज काम करत आहेत दाभोळकर वगैरे. तर ही विवेक वाहिनी महाविद्यालय सगळ्या महाविद्यालयामध्ये नेण्याचं काम अध्यक्ष असताना एनडी पाटील सरांच्या काळामध्ये. आणि म्हणून कोणत्याही सामाजिक घटनांकडे एनडी पाटील सर जेव्हा बघत तेव्हा ती भूमिका एका तज्ञाची असायची, एक एक्सपर्ट सर्जन तशा पद्धतीची असायची. त्यांची ओरिएंटेड वक्ता, खरडा वक्त्याला लागून कोल्हापुरी भाषेत लागते शब्द खरडा वक्ता. ती कोल्हापुरी भाषेमध्ये ते बोलायचे. अनेक त्यांची भाषणे गाजलेली आहेत. बिंदूचं हे कोल्हापूरच्या भाषणांचं गाजण्याचे एक चौक की ज्यामध्ये बाबासाहेबांच्या हयातीतला पहिला पुतळा देशातला उभा आहे. त्या चौकात माधवराव बाबांनी तो पुतळा उभा केला. 1952 चा बाबासाहेब 56 ला गेले, पण बाबांचा पुतळा त्या ठिकाणी, ज्योतिबा फुल्यांचा पुतळा त्या ठिकाणी, त्या ठिकाणी जाहीर सभा व्हायच्या. त्या सभा मधल्या एनडी पाटील सरांच्या अनेक सभा या खूप गाजलेल्या आहेत. विशेषतः सामाजिक आंदोलनाच्या सभा ह्या खूप गाजलेल्या आहेत. कोल्हापूरमध्ये मोठ्या प्रमाणावर एक यज्ञ चळवळ सुरू होती आणि मोठा यज्ञ घातला जाणार होता. त्याला विरोध करणारी एक चळवळ, विद्यापीठांमध्ये काही चुकीच्या गोष्टी झाल्या त्याला विरोध करणारी चळवळ मोठ्या प्रमाणावर एनडी पाटील सरांनी केली. त्याच्यामध्ये यामध्ये आम्हाला ते जवळून बघता आलं, ऐकता आलं. आणि म्हणून एनडी पाटील सरांचं काम जे आहे हे खूप मोठं आहे. ते पाटील सांगितलं त्यांना काही लिमिटेशन्स आहे की या सेशन मध्ये तेवढ्या खूप सांगितलं आलं, पण खूप तुम्हाला त्या जवळ त्या ठिकाणी बघायचं असेल, वाचायचं असेल तर त्यांची आकाशवाणीवरची भाषणं किंवा त्यांच्या संदर्भात एनडी पाटील प्रतिष्ठान आहे त्यांनी एक पुस्तक प्रकाशित केलेलं आहे. आणि वेळोवेळी त्यांची प्रसिद्ध झालेली भाषणं येतील सुद्धा तुम्हाला बघा. तो या ठिकाणी मला या निमित्ताने बोलवलं. शेतकऱ्यांचे लढे, कामगारांचे लढे, मुंबईमध्ये दिल्ली कामगारांचे लढे, त्यांच्याबद्दलचे प्रश्न आहेत. आणि आपल्याकडे अनेक धरणं बांधली गेली, पण त्या धरणग्रस्तांचे विस्थापितांचे जे लढे आहेत, नायनाथांना किंवा भारत पाटणकर वगैरे ही सगळी मंडळी आहेत, त्यांच्या सर्व एनडी पाटील जोडलेले आहेत. आणि त्या लढ्यामध्ये सुद्धा ते हैदराबादी हे सातत्यानं राहिलेले आहेत. आणि महाराष्ट्राच्या सामाजिक आणि डाव्या चळवळीचे ते आधारस्तंभ आहेत. ज्या सगळ्या नेट मुवमेंट्स आहेत त्यांचे ते की पर्सन्स आहेत, की गाईड करणारे पर्सन्स आहेत, एक्सपर्ट पर्सन्स आहेत. आणि म्हणून त्या ठिकाणी ते म्हणत विधिमंडळामध्ये मुंबईच्या मंत्रालयामध्ये आमची मेजॉरिटी नसेल, विधिमंडळामध्ये मंत्रालयामध्ये आमची मेजॉरिटी नसेल, पण बाहेरच्या रस्त्यावरच्या लढाईमध्ये मात्र आमची मेजॉरिटी असेल. रस्त्यावरच्या लढाईमध्ये मात्र आमची मेजॉरिटी असेल आणि तिथं आमची बहुमत असेल आणि ते विधिमंडळातल्या बहुमतापेक्षा भारी असेल. हे त्यांनी दाभोळ प्रकल्पाच्या एनरॉन प्रोजेक्ट जो आहे ना त्या एनरॉन प्रोजेक्ट मध्ये यश मिळवून दाखवलं म्हणजे मंत्रालयामध्ये तो रद्द करावा लागला एनरॉन प्रोजेक्ट सेमच्या ज्या सगळ्या 1000 एकर जमिनी आहेत त्या अंबानीला दिल्या जाणार होत्या शेतकऱ्यांच्या जमिनी तिथं त्यांनी बहुमत दाखवून दिलं आणि कोल्हापूरचा जो टोल आहे तिथंही सगळे आमदार त्या टोलच्या बाजूने ते प्रस्थापित काँग्रेसचे असो किंवा कुठल्याही पार्टीचे असो कोणी त्याच्याबद्दल बोलायला तयार नाही. पण त्या विधिमंडळामध्ये तो टोल कॅन्सल करावा लागला कोल्हापूर महानगरपालिकेला हस्तांतर करावं लागला तो मेजॉरिटी किंवा बहुमत ते म्हणायचे की विधिमंडळाच्या बाहेर आमचं तळवळी मधलं असतं आणि ते आम्ही मिळवून दाखवू त्याच्यावरचा हा विश्वास होता ही मोटिवेशन हे एनर्जी त्यांच्यामध्ये ही आपल्याला निश्चितच गाईड करणारी आहे आणि त्यामुळं मी पाटील सरांना पुन्हा एकदा त्यांच्या स्मृतीला कार्याला सरांना अभिवादन करतो माई आज असायला या ठिकाणी आल्या नाही त्यांचा आणखी या संदर्भात काही सविस्तर तुम्हाला मार्गदर्शन नक्की झालं असतं वेळोवेळी येतच राहतात त्यांची तब्येत बरी नसल्यामुळं तो माई ताई आहे फॅकल्टी मेंबर्स आहेत ऑर्गनायझिंग मेंबर्स आहेत प्रिन्सिपल सर आहेत आणि आपण सगळे फॅकल्टी मेंबर्स टीचर्स सगळ्यांना मी धन्यवाद देतो मला बोलून या मला जी काही जो अनुभव आला तो शेअर करता आला थँक्यू
Monthly platform. The background Dr. A.B. Patil will write just to talk on a few days of something. We celebrate the continuous efforts that we can do to understand his contribution. There are three words, Prabhupada, Sangatari, Sangharsh, in that this horns wrong. These three words clears his ideas and works. So with this I will call so many Mr. the total thanks of the session. After this, we will have a lunch break and then we will allow work for another session and paper presentations.
Respected chairperson, honorable guests, esteemed resource persons, faculty members, researchers, and dear delegates. On behalf of the organizing committee, it gives me a great pleasure to propose the vote of thanks for today's thought-provoking session titled GST Reforms and Social and Cultural Impact, Socio-Economic Inequalities and Psychological Well-being. First and foremost, we extend our sincere gratitude to our esteemed resource person, Honorable Sangeeta Patil, for her valuable contribution and insightful and enlightening presentation. Drawing inspiration from the works of the renowned social reformer Professor Dr. N.D. Patil sir, you effectively connected GST reforms with issues of social justice, equality, and human well-being. Ma'am, your clear and meaningful presentation made this session intellectually enriching, socially relevant, and truly inspiring. We are equally honored to have Professor Dr. Bharat Naik sir, former head Department of Psychology, Mahatma College, Kolhapur, and former chairman, BOS Psychology, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, as the chairperson of this session. Sir, your calm, experienced, and scholarly guidance added academic depth and a strong research perspective, making the session more structured and impactful. Finally, we extend our heartfelt thanks to all the delegates, researchers, and participants for their active participation and positive engagement, which truly made this session meaningful. Once again, we thank all the dignitaries and participants present on this international platform. We firmly believe that today's discussion will inspire clinical research, policy formulation, and positive social changes. Thank you and best wishes for the upcoming sessions. Have a nice day.
Now, I will use it to visit the Karmaveer village.
यानंतर जेवणासाठी सर्वांनी जिमखाना विभागामध्ये जायचं आहे जिमखाना मधलं जेवण झाल्यानंतर इमिडिएट आपलं प्रेझेंटेशन पेपर प्रेझेंटेशन होणार आहे तर त्यासाठी